Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are live and back at it again, folks. It's a sensational Saturday night, and I hope everyone out there is happy, healthy, and safe as we bring you AEW Collision tonight. It's going to be a fun one, the eve of AEW Revolution. We're looking forward to all of it here, folks. We're going to talk about it, so make sure you get in that chat. Hit like, hit share, hit subscribe. Be a part of the fun. Be a part of the family. And strap in, strap on, grab your snacks, grab your feel good, and let's go. Ding, ding, ding. We're live and back at it again, folks. Like I said, we are the Wrestling for Life Network. I hope everyone out there is having a wonderful weekend, AEW Revolution weekend, if you will. Jam-packed, full of wrestling all weekend long. We're here for Collision tonight. Maybe a rare occurrence lately, but nonetheless, folks, we're looking forward to this one. We will talk all about the matches. We're going to get into tomorrow a lot. I'm sure we're going to talk about Revolution more than we talk about Collision. But we will see. I see that chat filling up already. Make sure you hit like, share, subscribe. That is the absolute best thing you can do for us out there if you're watching. Help us get to our next milestone. Help us get to 10K. We are rocking and rolling here at the channel. But after all that long-windedness, I will remind you, I am Mr. Every Night KJ White, the Iron Man of YouTube. And that is Mr. Big Nick.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Wrestling for Life Network proudly brings to you its YouTube tag stream champions of the world, the Every Night Delight, KJ White. I am Big Nick, and yes, it's Revolution Eve. We're on the eve of a revolution, sir.
Right, you say you want a revolution.
Sunday Night Heat, yeah.
Right, you say you want a revolution. But the revolution will not be televised. It will be live streamed here with us at the Wrestling for Life Network. So make sure you're here tomorrow, 6 p.m. We go live. We will have every single match, every single minute, our genuine, unbiased, unscripted, unplanned reactions to all the ongoings. So it will be a fun one tomorrow. Don't miss out on that. Real quick, before we get the show running, want to give a big shout out to ETU Tidal Wave this weekend, 4 p.m. on Sunday. If you're in the neighborhood or nearby, or you can track it down where to watch, make sure you do so. Go to their website. Go check them out. Go give them some love, as we are the official sponsor of Tidal Wave.
Yes, and you can actually watch the event on IWTV .tv, I believe. But yeah, IWTV, look up that app. You can watch the show. The show starts at 4 p.m. and shout out them. Shout out Jay Bougie 100% too.
Big shout out for sure. We appreciate the love, and we're looking forward to it, folks. But tonight we're going to hear from Cope, which is probably just a pre-tape from his fight. Everything's pre-taped, I know, but what they, as far as being backstage, Harley's going to take on local enhancement talent Hologram, taking on Dragonistico.
Yeah, so get the Lucha action.
Let's go Lucha. But we're also going to get to Serena Deeb with Momo.
We're going to prove right now that this is where Momo is an actual talented wrestler, because she's in there with another actual talented wrestler, Serena Deeb, who deserves more, and this might actually be a better match than Momo versus Mercedes.
I don't know, man. I don't have high hopes at all. Mercedes is going to be on commentary to make it even worse. I'm pretty sure if I can plan it accordingly, that might be my break spot. But moving on. Daniel Garcia, Lee Moriarty, TNT Championship on the line. Lee can go. Danny can kind of go. Again, this feels like more of a Ring of Honor match. It's the night before Collision, Nick. Or night before Revolution? Are we missing something here? Like, could there be a little more kind of gusto, excitement the night before a big pay-per-view?
Yeah, something that gets you a little more involved. I know you wouldn't want to have too many people involved in a match or anything like that, but I mean, you've got Orange Cassidy and Mark Briscoe on the pre-show. You're telling me that they couldn't have a match? One of them could have a match on Collision or something like that. MXM is on the pre-show tomorrow. They couldn't have a match. You couldn't. No Ospreay. Well, I think we're going to hear from Omega.
Yes,
so that's the only thing.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it just feels like Sunday Night Heats were better builds for pay-per-views than this.
Right. I mean, again, I was kind of thinking about it. Like, even I know it's a tape show. I know, reminder to everybody out there, no spoilers. We don't want to know. Keep it to yourself. Nick and I do everything we can to avoid spoilers so we can react genuinely. But I mean, you could still kind of do some stuff on Collision or have some stuff on Collision that are really going to make people tune in. There is nothing advertised for this show that makes you go, I have to see that.
Yeah, that's kind of true. That's the sad truth. I don't want to damper my excitement for Revolution or feel like a sourpuss here, but this ain't it, dog.
No, and again, we're optimistic that regardless, it's still going to be a fun 2 hours. Remember, folks, the wrestling might suck. We never do. So, again, get in that chat. We can talk Revolution. We can talk the dub, whatever you want to talk about, whatever's on your wrestling mind. Don't be quiet. Don't be shy as I see that number climbing up. But, I mean, ultimately, dude, we got a big show tomorrow. We're going to be here all night long. And there is a lot of intrigue going into this show in spite of maybe Tony's best efforts to not have anybody give a shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, Collision we've talked about it seems lackluster, but Revolution, through no fault, I guess, of their booking or their building to the pay-per-view,
right?
But the matches that they have are absolutely stacked. I'm super excited for it. Top to bottom, there's one, maybe two matches that I'm not that interested with that, it's all right. Maybe could have been on a Dynamite, maybe could have been on this Collision instead of the pay-per-view. Respectfully, could have Okada versus Brody King been on Collision, main evented Collision tonight instead of being on Revolution.
Yeah, not wrong at all. Not wrong at all. And if you get that match card down to, and I'm sorry, Mercedes Moné and Mumu is a Collision match, is a Dynamite match at best. This is not a pay-per-view quality match. There's not a pay-per-view quality build to it. It does not matter. It's not a thing that we should care about. And the booking has said is just about as much as that. So it's unfortunate, but honestly, folks, like Wednesdays, we start tonight off with a lot of hopium. I know as of late, we haven't done a ton of collisions just because, I mean, ultimately, even in Canada right now, as you guys know, I mean, I don't know about Spaz out there. It is hard to actually track down this show in Canada now. It's moved over to the USA Network. It's lumped in with a bunch of other things. So it's crazy. But ultimately, Saturdays is tough. Lots of pay-per-views, lots of events going on. But we have all the hope in the world that we're going to have a fun time with this show, with the chat, and we'll see what happens, my guy.
Yeah, Trump out there putting tariffs on AEW Collision. Can't get it in Canada.
Right? Pull it off the shelves. Let's go.
Right? But should we say hi to the chat? We got about 4 minutes, so it might be rapid-fire roll call here.
All right, let's do it.
Oh, I didn't. All right, I'll go to
Dick is in the house. All right, I got it. Good afternoon, KJ White and Big Nick. I'm going to sleep study to watch AEW Collision tonight. Home show, AEW Revolution pay-per-view tomorrow. Izzy, welcome back. Eric, welcome back. I see you. Jordan's here. Don't forget, folks, we are on Twitch. Go check us out over there. Still aiming to hit that first milestone of 50. Evening all watch Built It on TCM. Still love it. There you go. Mox Cope 50-50. Yeah, I think it is 50-50.
I think it's Cope, but I don't know if Cope leaves with the belt.
Yeah, fair enough. I still don't know. Yeah, I mean, we're a little torn on that. I don't know if that's going to work either. But Sin's back with us. Ken, AD and AZ, Damien, welcome back. Bradley, as always, a pleasure, sir. The Mr. Gifter of Gifts. Yes. Chambers is back in the house. Johnny Oz is with us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I think that's a new name here. Clay Lewis, Daniel Barry, Sports Highlights. How are you? Hope you are well, sir. Trey Safi, welcome back. Kyle, how you doing, Kyle? Todd Brantley's with us. We got Safi. Robert, I have not you on Saturday for a while. Good you to have you back.
Oh, I mean, he's feeling good on a Saturday.
Yeah,
good on you, Robert.
Ken, we got you. Todd, welcome back. Earl Cole, welcome. Hello. Who else we got? Momo, Wrestling Proud, welcome back. Hit the like button. We appreciate it as we are rolling. I want to see triple digits in those thumbs up as we hit 75 likes on the stream. So thank you for that. Damian Chambers, the wrestling god, WFU for life. Let's go. Let's go. Repping the WFU hard right now.
Facts. And go get your merch. The WFU merch out now. Do it.
It's true. I'm shocked that you guys are doing a live stream tonight. I'm not. Welcome. Hi.
I'm shocked you made a comment that didn't involve Liv Morgan.
Right. Speed Rock. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Trey, we got you. 316, welcome back. Sean Reed's with us. Jason, Ryan, I see you. Robert Cortez, we got you, we got you, we got you. First Instinct, welcome, welcome. Don back with us. Hello, Don. Ronan, Theater of the Absurd, already chuckling, so he's feeling good on a Saturday. Right. I'm not a big fan of Ricochet, but it is nice to see him get used more than he did in the WWE. Not so nice for people who can't stand him. Now, here's the thing. He wasn't not being used in WWE. Like, I think we're on equivalent usage. He was always never like super important, but he wasn't unused, Nick.
Well, not unused, but I would say that he's a bit more important. I mean, he's out there with Swerve. I can't remember the last, Ricochet feud that he had in WWE where he was wrestling a former world champion.
Well, I mean, he did kind of, have, Breaker. He had his rivalry with Gunther. It wasn't terrible. And I understand why Ricochet went to AEW. It made sense for him. And I understand it completely. This stuff's been good. All I have ever said about this storyline, because I really do like heel Ricochet, leave the scissors at home. You're making this silly. If you avoid the scissor shit, everything else is great. No scissor Saturday. That's what we're running here tonight.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, heel Ricochet has been actually really good, especially the goddamn Jada laugh that he's gotten over. I have the crowd show. Okay, so we're perfect.
And I got the opening.
I have a kid in the crowd, and they're showing Revolution.
Okay, I'm a little ahead to you, but I'll fix it. As we got the Ops.
I think I'm getting the Ops right now.
Let me know when you get the arm fold. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick and I are syncing up. Remember, no spoilers.
I'm waiting on the arm fold.
When all three of them come out and fold their
arm. Got it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are off and running. If you want to sync up out there, as you can see, sometimes the international dateline makes us have to play with our stream a little. Pause on all of that.
Yeah.
We have the Ops coming out. The Ops. Samoa Joe not even in advertised matches anymore. They didn't even tell us he was going to be on tonight.
Why is Samoa Joe here when Samoa Joe should be so much up there and everything? Right. Like, he can still go. He's still Samoa Joe.
He really is. He's still Joe. I mean, everybody pops for Joe.
Like, now I want a Joe Lashley match in AEW.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you talk about who's going to stand up, like if you made Bobby Lashley the world champion, who could stand up? Look at this guy. Holy shit.
That's Charlie Starboy. We watched him on GCW. He looks adequate size to Hook, so don't say shit.
The first guy in AEW to make Hook look huge. Huge.
Getting huge, dude. But no, like a Samoa Joe versus even a John Moxley right now would be great.
Yeah. Yeah, someone like who's going to stand up to these guys? Joe. Joe can do it.
Exactly. I'm going to choke you out. Why did he never go back at Jericho, who put him through a fake wall?
Right? Samoa Joe should be the fucking the president of the Fuck Around Find Out Club.
That should be their name.
Yeah, not Ops.
Fine. The FAFO. The FAFO.
The FAFO.
No one expects the FAFO.
The two vitamin-induced hosts of the show.
Literally.
I gotta take off my socks, bro. I'll be right back.
Sabu, and somehow it's up there.
As Joe throwing jabs.
I got him now. Oh, you're like half a second. First jab. Another jab.
Another jab.
But yes, Ken, that is Starboy Charlie.
Starboy Charlie.
Yeah, it is very much not exactly local enhancements, but local enhancements.
Yeah, and in all due respect to Starboy, I know we've watched him, but Jesus Christ.
Well, when he's in them with guys like Samoa and Joseph and everything, I mean, even
I-
Shibata looks fucking, like goddamn Seth Rollins out here now.
Right, as they are throwing each other into the dude in the corner. Shibata with a drop kick. Yeah, I've literally picked bigger pieces of meat out of my teeth.
Ooh.
Come on. There's a 12-year-old in the wrestling ring right now. It's insane. As the Ops decimate them as they were going to. Big win for the Ops.
Right.
Hops.
The Hops, the FAFO, remember.
Right? Now, I will only say this for the people, and a lot of what we're saying right now is tongue-in-cheek, but again, this is your go-home show for Revolution. Let's start it with something akin, something that's talking about Revolution. Open it with a big, open it with the Kenny segment or there's Edge. Open it with Edge.
What? Do you not do something with, say, Christian to have,
to put it there?
Right. That's what I was thinking of. You even have, say, you run it back as the tag match or something. You do Joe versus Christian just to still keep that in the back of the mind. And that's an actual ongoing feud versus local enhancements. Sorry.
Right. No, sorry. I'm just saying their sound guy should be fired.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was me or my computer or what here.
Yo, turn that echo down, bro.
If we all be real quiet, we can hear Copeland. He's whispering his promo. He's Moxleying it.
This show should be used 100% purely to hype up tomorrow.
I've said that for the longest time. I said that even during our prediction show and everything. That Collision at this point, especially the night before a pay-per-view, should just be basically your pre-show. Should be set everything up, like I said. We talked about with Christian being there. If you set that up for the potential, he shows up tomorrow night. You have maybe take a match like a Brody King versus Okada off of the pay-per-view, trim it to 9-8 matches instead of 10, 11, 12. And then you have a good Collision right before it. That's all you need to do. It's simple. Right there in front of you.
Yeah, and I mean, with this tape, with Collision being taped, you have the opportunity to edit the show, put it in a nice order, and you can really, inject packages and pre-tapes that build up. And I know we're getting the Copeland one, but it's a little.
I didn't even really click it in my head like that until you're like, no, it's taped, it's edited, all of that. So very much they can take the best take out of this. So we did 1 million takes with this promo, and this is the best take that we had. I feel like we couldn't fix the audio. We're just backstage for no reason. He's super intense, but like now all those little
it's getting better.
Faults and misses, though, that you see on a Collision, they could have edited out. They just didn't have a better take.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that way, right? Like, you would imagine there's something.
Right? But, Ronnie, what up? Theater. No, it's Cope. That's what we're coping with this show right now. I'm getting, I assume, Holger. No, CEO, Monet. So, of course, you disappear and Monet shows up. Which means we're probably getting. Are we getting her talking, or we got to be getting the Momo match?
No, she's on commentary.
Yeah, so that means we're gonna get the Momo match. So
we're getting Momo and Serena Deeb,
which I think will be a good match, despite you disliking Momo and calling her Moo Moo.
I don't care if Moo Moo is the second coming of fucking Mildred Burke. I don't give a fudge. You just put her in here. You, Kofi Kingston, Harley Cameron. I'm bitter. I am bitter because your job as a booker is to put things in front of us that we get excited about and buy into. And when we get excited about somebody and buy into them, they stop being used. The list is huge now. And Harley's another example of the crowd was behind her and the booker said, we need Moo Moo. What the fuck? On a pay-per-view. All the women in this company, and Moo Moo gets the pay-per-view spot. If this
because she won at Dynasty, because they put themselves in that corner and they got to finish it.
It's dumb.
But I do agree with you. I get your point fully, because we all kind of pretty much called it of she's going to lose that match to Monet, and then she's had one promo, and then she's been an afterthought at best.
Yeah, you said we kind of called it. Anthony, our buddy, was on it. Like, it just baffles me of your job. It's like, when you throw up a 3-ball and it goes in, you're like, oh, I got 3 points for that. I'm never doing it again. Like, once you get it, start hitting it. Like, what are we waiting for? Why would you not? The fans like this. I got to stop doing it. That is
right. I'm getting over. It's working.
Yeah. I'm actually being good at my job.
He's the meme that the guy that puts the fucking stick in his tire spoke. Why did they do this to me?
Right.
Have they done the belt collector gimmick already a little too much?
Yes.
In AEW, because they've done it twice now within the 5 years. They did it with Omega, now they're doing it with Mercedes again.
Yes. They're doing it too much, but also I think the fans, even the hardcore AEW fans, are kind of at this point of there's just too many belts, too many unimportant belts.
Well, do you make
none of your championships, with the exception of one, have an exciting champion? Maybe 2 if you slide the Hurt Business in. But ultimately, a lot of your belts, your TNT title, your TBS title, they're all on these bland, lame duck champions. Moxley's not great. Like, it's unfortunate.
Yeah,
I got Momo coming out now, by the way. I refreshed.
Yes, I have Momo. God damn it. Again, I like her. I get why you don't like that she's in this spot. I still like her as a performer, as a professional wrestler.
Do you really, though?
Yes.
You think she's that good?
I think we've seen it obviously with Io Sky on Monday. We've seen it with Julia. We're seeing a lot of the Japanese women's talent come over and is actually really talented. And there's a lot of international women's wrestlers with Zarya, with Stephanie Vacour, etc., that are really good. So on both fronts.
Right. Deep for the win. We don't take votes on tape shows, by the way. So you guys can, if you're being honest and you don't know the answer, by all means, give us your guess, but don't be spoiling anything. But we are off. The sound went funny again for me. We got Momo and Serena Deep. My biggest issue is people criticizing how women are being booked in certain companies. But you have this company with all the women you have signed and all the women we like to cheer for. Thunder Rosa, we've talked about the hater situation, Taya, Deanna. I beat this drum to death every week. It's, why would you give that spot to Mumu over all these other women that you employ? It'd be like bringing Ronda back in to do a Mania match with Rhea Ripley. People would lose their mind. Oh, poor Io, poor Io.
No, I get it fully. Like, I get it fully. I understand you. Trust me. I just don't want the hate to be directed specifically at Momo. She's just in that position because that's the way Tony books. I get you. I hear you. I'm right there with you. Again, you made me in Boston. Bitter rivals. Fully agree on this. Momo is outstanding. I myself am happy she's getting a platform. That's the thing. I like Momo. I don't want the hate directed at Momo. This is purely on TK's booking of the women's roster. Right. We've seen that not just with Harley. We've seen it with Chris Statlander, etc. We've seen it specifically. You mentioned Thunder Rosa. She's been nerfed the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Who are these jobbers facing the ops? Exactly that. What's up, Tom Allen? What made you decide to stream AEW tonight? Tonight we had the ability to do so. I know Nick and I have tried to take some personal time to take a deep breath from doing this 7 days a week, every week, and going live more than 300 days a year. So we missed a couple Saturdays, but the big thing with Saturdays is, like last weekend, pay-per-view, we Collision gets swallowed by an elimination chamber, right?
Yeah.
NXT pay-per-views have been on Saturdays as well. So it's all about the scheduling. And again, we try and get here as many as possible. And this Collision just so happened to be the night before Revolution.
Absolutely, 100%. Sorry, I love this from Lady B. Nick said, "Leave Momo alone."
Lono, leave Momo
Lono.
alone. She's a nice lady.
Right. She's a nice person. As deep in control right now.
Hey, drop kick by Moo. Let me know when you get the drop kick. I think I popped.
I got the drop kick. You were literally like half a sec.
Apparently, this third server was the way to go.
Nick's another drop kick in the corner.
Megan Bain is another one they have poorly. Not, Phil. I think I'm giving them a little runway here. You have to be blind not to see what Megan Bain brings to the table, and you need to push her up your roster quick. Like if it was even Bain versus Sasha at the pay-per-view and letting Bain destroy her, I'd be much happier, but he's not going to do that. Sasha's one of the made men, so to speak, quote unquote, woman. And again, she's in that inner circle that there's become this absolute unfortunate part of AEW because there's really good things happening.
Right. Oh, I got a dragon screw in the corner from Deeb.
Yep. Okay. Big neck breaker. And now Deeb can go as well, man. Well,
that's what I'm saying. I think this match will be better than Mercedes' match because both women in this match can wrestle versus one woman in that match can wrestle.
I legit physically cringe when the camera goes to Mercedes. I'm so sorry. I'm sure she's a nice lady, but my God, just under my skin on such an epic level.
Is she Ricochet with that?
No.
That's what some people think with Ricochet of just they can't stand him. That they were throwing toilet paper at this man. Is it her heel character that she's so cringe and so self-absorbed that you just can't help but despise her? I get it's false bravado. She actually can't really go that well in the ring, what have you. But yeah, there's a tinge. There's
just something about it, man. It's the ego. If this is just her putting her heel face on and working, great job. The problem is, even away from the ring, you get the impression that this is really her, and that's what I think irritates me.
Yeah, one of those, even when you step back and try and put it in frame, it still is ugly. Like you get closer, it might be a little bit better. No.
Right. As Deeb working the leg of Mumu. I do see Momo as a huge threat to Monet. She is not. She will win whichever belt she wants. She has an it factor. Sorry, Georgie, but she is not. Nobody is beating Sasha. Sasha about to put on Roman Reigns numbers. Like,
that's the thing. She's Super Sasha now.
Yeah, she ain't losing to nobody.
But that's the thing is, I just want them to make it feel like she could actually be challenged, actually be threatened, actually have, get a little scuff on you, something like that. Make it seem like you could actually maybe lose.
Right. By the way, real quick, what's up, OG Dale? I see Boston in the chat now. Kevin, Sean Reed. We got Wrestling Proud already. Ronnie, welcome. Anthony Vargas is with us. AZ, we got you. The CE, no. Exactly, Eric. Eric, welcome. Trey, Ronnie. Lots of names. We appreciate it, folks. James and Casey. Dude, we need a picture of you in that t-shirt.
Right.
Sasha Hogan.
Well, did we establish on Thursday it's Mahogan? Kind of like Mahogan.
Mahogany.
Right. And this guy is a rich mahogany.
Backside. Big kick by Momo. And I will admit it. I have no personal gripe with Momo at all.
It feels personal.
No, my personal gripe is with her opponent and her boss. Because, again, the real issue lies with the decision-making of the company. When you go to do something for your company, the question has to become, how does this benefit us? What is the goods that are going to come out of this? And really, a one-off match with Momo, when Momo goes back to Japan and Sasha moves on, it meant nothing. There's no carryover. It doesn't add. If Momo wins, then what? Now Momo's the champion? What the fuck? What are we gonna do? Really?
Take down Monet, as Waka Flocka Seagull saying, mid-card Monet. But I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's very much. I think they kind of wrote themselves into a corner, and now they have to get their way out of it.
I mean, the match is okay, a little on the quiet side, but KJ and Big Nick, do you all think the Young Bucks return? People are saying they might be coming to Revolution.
They say you want a revolution. I mean, it's going to be in California. I mean, it's rented at Sacramento. I don't know how far away Sacramento is from Cucamonga, but
that's actually a really good point. The fact that it is in their backyard, essentially, it's a big venue.
Nick Jackson and his wife just put out started YouTube TVs series or something. Yeah, fair enough.
I would entertain.
Yeah. I clicked on Fightful and that's where I saw it. So
right, 2 count by Momo, but they could come back. But where do you slot the Young Bucks right now?
Tag division, Hurt Syndicate. But it's going to be weird because you're dropping the entire Elite story. You're dropping with the Death Riders that AEW's been trying to take over their company. You drop the fucking Kenny angle. You drop a lot.
They join the Death Riders would be the craziest thing.
Be the stupidest fucking thing,
right? They cost Edge and join John Moxley.
Jesus, but we'll make Moxley the corporate champion. But I will say, when we talked about, I think on Thursday too, about Athena and Monet being a thing, Billy Starks was backstage and her and Sasha had a whole interaction. I might have been just on Twitter. I don't know if it was on Dynamite, but yeah.
So the girl that can't find a way to beat Athena gets a spot on Dynamite with the TBS champion, but Athena is status no nookie. Like, she is not
domino. It's the domino.
Well, why is Athena the only one we never see? Anybody know?
Because they built her up as the Monet killer.
The Monet killer. Holy shit! Steve going with the underhooks. Oh, the crowd murmurs.
Murmur for Momo.
How soon before Monet is Ring of Honor Women's Champion? Yeah, Nick was just alluding to that, James.
You're right, yeah. Well, she's just not Ring of Honor Champion because she doesn't want to work Tuesdays or Thursdays. Well,
I'd almost like to see Momo here get a pretty decisive win. Not so, I feel like this is a little too 50-50 for me. I'd like to see her be really impressive. Not meaning she can't take a few licks, but I'd like to see her really be the dominant one here and go, oh shit, she might get Monet.
Well, and especially because this is a lot of people's probably first time seeing Momo Watanabe. But granted, I like that Deeb's getting a bit of a spotlight, but I see 100% your point.
Right. As she is in a single leg crab. Waka, I miss Riho. Is that a true thing? You don't really.
She blew away. I'm sorry.
A swift breeze.
Right. Give me Sheeta.
Where's Sheeta? I like Sheeta.
Holy Sheeta.
Right. What do you think about the news about Jade that she wasn't hurt and got sent home because of her issues? I don't believe that.
Well, why now? Again, we talked about this yesterday.
Something good happened.
Well, it's because she was going to show back up, and so we've got to bring up this 7-month-old story allegedly that just never got talked about till now.
Northern Lights for the pin, Nick. Moo with the W.
You put some respect on goddamn Momo's name.
Moo with the woo. Let's go, folks. Moo.
Woo. You know it.
Sasha taking off all her accessories.
See, and would you almost believe that if it was for a different title besides the TBS title, that Momo could actually win? Like if it was for the New Japan Strong title, something else, the Red Pro title.
Yes. Yeah, if it wasn't, like I said, I think Monet is going to retire this goddamn belt. They're at least 100% going to make sure she beats any standing record, Jade's especially, of just she's never letting that belt go. Oh, yeah. Moo kicks. Oh, Moo. Beating up Sasha.
Yeah, do it. Oh, Meteora
from the top.
Jamie will beat her. Jamie Hayter maybe.
When,
I like
no,
that it's at least the TBS title, not the women's world title. Just keep her in the TBS division at least. Just can logjam that.
Well, the saving grace of the women's wrestling in AEW is Toni Storm, Mariah May. Because again, on the complete opposite of the spectrum, Toni Storm and Mariah May has been outstanding. Absolutely great. I want more of it.
Oh, fuck, Momo. You're proving my theory, though. He or she who goes over on the go-home show loses at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, she not winning, bro. She not giving up that nothing.
Nope. Especially, I'm going to do the job on Collision that 250,000 people are going to watch, and you're going to do a job for me on a pay-per-view that a whole lot more people are going to watch and buy.
She probably has a job, a job amendment to her contract of like, every time I do a job, it's $1 million.
Right. Well, that's why Tony keeps booking all his pay-per-views on Saturdays. She said, I won't lose on Saturday, or on why Tony does the pay-per-views on Sundays. Right? She has it in the contract. I won't lose on Saturdays.
I will not lose on Saturdays.
Or I'll only lose on Saturdays. Shit.
Momo for the win. Mercedes is a car. Yes, it is, Maddie. Vitamin thoughts with Maddie.
Right. Well, it's ran this division the fuck over. I'll say that.
KJ, that's. Can you hear a fly sitting on the table? Then this fight, you can. It's very quiet, I think, is what Tom's getting at. Yes.
Well, you said it. Murmurs for Momo. That's what we had.
Murmurs for Momo. It's the battle of the mid Mone and Momo match.
It's the M alliteration.
Like, listen, again, I don't want to pick on it all night long, but I think Adam Copeland beating John Moxley is best for business. I think anybody taking that belt from Mercedes is best for business. I think the TNT title going to somebody that we actually give a shit about, best for business. And I think merging the IC belt and the Continental belt is best for business. And you just keep the Continental Classic for like a trophy. You don't get to become a year-round champion and then defend it in a tournament where we're not sure if you're still the champion or not. Keep it simple, stupid. That's what I would do, is you got to make these belts matter.
You heard it here, folks. He said best for business like 3 times, so he's bound to heel turn on me. I'm going to tell Anthony to go himself. We're going to hug, and then he's going to kick me in the ball.
Right. Let's go. Well, pay attention.
Right. You didn't get the details?
Right. There you go.
Monet. Well, that's the IWC as a whole. It's not just Monet. Well, it is fitting that she seems to be at times a bit of their queen.
Right.
Or she's the most divisive woman in the IWC, I'd say that.
She's one of the most polarizing women. And like, people either absolutely adore her or they hate her. Mm-hmm. I don't, people aren't like, she, like, you either love her or you don't. And it seems to be the way. I know some asshole's going to jump in the chat and say, wait a minute, I'm kind of like her. But yeah, I mean, again, listen, if this is just her selling her, fine. It hasn't gone great.
Yeah, I'm not buying it.
I get on right as Serena loses, why AEW can't build the contender rather than they win one match. So again, the theme of the night right now.
Yeah, it is such an indictment on AEW's women's division when, especially here, we'll tie it in. It's Women's Month. It's International Women's Day. So of course that's why Momo won. But
Mama,
whoa now. But that's the thing is women's wrestling right now is so over. Is so much all the way one of the biggest things in wrestling right now in AEW's women's division outside of Mariah May and Toni Storm is damn near non-existent. And Athena is propping up and is holding all the weight of Ring of Honor.
Yeah, man. I mean, it just needs, it's not for a lack of talent. The roster's solid. It just needs better placement, better booking, better viewpoint, better rivalry. They've got one. Build on that one.
Right.
As we go back to Will Ospreay from Wednesday.
Yeah, did it for anyone else just like straight like NWO cut back? I'm like, what the fuck?
Right.
Ospreay, a world order.
Right. Death Riders die when Moxley loses. Now, to me, that's a big L. I think that's a big, like, a fail. Is a failure to launch, I think you said on last night's stream. Like, if Moxley and the Death Riders are done now, that is a false start. That is blowing your engines in the blocks. Like, it's crazy, man.
Well, Christ, you have everything. And real quick, because we're getting into Ospreay pre-tape, but every time they shoot a pre-tape, it has like this weird cinematic, like fucking Vaseline shit on the lens type feel to it and everything.
It's like recorded with a handheld, like a home fucking camera, and the sound guy did not get rid of any echo.
Yeah, but it's so like differently polished compared to anything else visually on the show that it feels so different, so foreign. But with and I didn't mean that because it's Ospreay, because he's from another country. I didn't mean it that way, folks. But with the whole Death Riders thing, I saw it on, your favorite website of Cultaholic.com, to where Copeland was even quoted of saying the Death Rider storyline was confusing to him initially. Like, it's been this whole really cool premise. It's a failure to execute.
Great concept. Great idea. And if Moxley was showing up and destroying things, it would be really cool. If people have tried to run out and get Moxley because they are being destructive and they continually find a way to go over, but strong, not running away all the time, not biting your nails when your favorite girl's getting concertoed. Like, you got to be the guy. You got to be infallible. And you got to really run. You can't just say you're doing cool shit and not actually do the cool shit. Be like going to the X Games and saying, I'm going to do a fucking triple indie. And that's all you did was said you were going to do it. You just slid down.
Yeah, well, it's funny how it feels like he did a similar-ish gimmick before when he went under a different name of kind of just show up and just wreck shit and leave. And they could have just done that. So I wonder how much was it Dean Ambrose that was, the thing versus now it's John Moxley.
Right.
Like, why couldn't you have just done something akin to that? I know obviously you can't do the full thing, but clearly you've done something similar. Why is this not executing, but that did?
Facts. Absolute facts. As Ospreay absolutely on fire right now.
Oh, he's great. He's 100%. Well, he sat there and thought, was quoted about WWE fans if he would have signed there instead of AEW of having awakenings with watching him wrestle. But
here comes Harley Cameron. Hashtag we want Harley. As Harley's making her entrance, folks, I will remind everybody, not only are we here tomorrow for Revolution, Monday night is absolutely stacked. Steel Cage, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, AJ and Logan Paul are set to bump into each other. I believe Lawo is taking on the New Day, and there's something I'm missing on that list off the top of my head. But it looks to be an absolute great Raw. We are on the road to WrestleMania, and we're here all week long. Like I said, we're back tomorrow, and we're not stopping until next weekend. So make sure you're with us. Make sure you be a friend, tell a friend. And we are off and running with this one, Nick.
Well, I got Harley doing her entrance with not Deeb. Not a Riot. So she looks like if a Riot twin the Renegade twins and Deeb, like if they fusion dance together, if they had a child, that's who Harley's facing. But also with Monday Night Raw, this is the last one before we will be probably, I assume, one of the few channels that's out there actually live when WWE's going international throughout their whole tour and everything. Like they very much mentioned last night on SmackDown that they're going to Barcelona. For next week's SmackDown.
Absolutely, Nick. Absolutely. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be fun times. Plus, it's going to open up some other things like next Friday, we will be here for TNA Sacrifice, usually on a Friday night pay-per-view from TNA. We split our attention. We do our best to watch both, but we're going to have the opportunity to go live for SmackDown and then be back at it that night for Sacrifice. So it's going to be a hell of a time.
Yeah, I literally had no idea until you just said that it was actually going to be like back to back. It didn't compute in my brain until literally just now.
So we're looking forward to it. We got lots of opportunities here. We're excited about the road to WrestleMania. The Revolution's going to cook. and we got so much more coming up. It's going to be busy times. And yeah, be a friend, tell a friend. Let's keep triple digits. We want to get to that 200 mark, right? We all feel like we've been at 100 for enough. Let's get some friends in here. Let's see if we can have 200 here every single night.
Right. Let's make that the new average.
Right.
Did anyone catch the car that Harley's hitting here? The name of it, anyone know the name of this performer? Is this just TBD? Still?
They said it, and I completely. Somebody fact checkers. Who's Harley beating up? Oh, she's fighting. That didn't go so well. Tell me when you get the finish.
All righty.
And tell me what you think of said finish, because it's not pretty.
No, what the flying fuck was that? That's how you know I got the finish, because what in the Jesus H tap dancing Christ was that?
Right? I think you got it.
Yeah, well, no, she looked like she was about to go for a skull crushing finale, then reverses it into
like an arm
drop. The other, and then it's like a ripcordy thing.
Right.
You just tried to hit all the moves at once. If that's when you spam the finisher buttons and you don't know what the fuck the finisher is,
right?
You got Fletcher.
A steel cage match tomorrow and a steel cage match the night after. Very high chance Ospreay will jump
off the top of the cage.
Right.
Well, that's when I posed the question, and it's even a short on the channel right now that you can go and leave your comment, your answer to it, and everything like that, to where what's going to be the better cage match over the next 48 hours or so of Ospreay versus Fletcher or Punk versus Rollins.
Yeah. And I mean, I kind of go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish.
Oh, sorry, real quick. We do have Kyle Fletcher. But yeah, ultimately, I think that you're looking at an opportunity for back-to-back nights of wicked matches. And I think I said it on the preview show. I think Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher are going to make us bounce out of our chairs quite a bit. We're going to holy shit a lot for that match. I think Punk and Seth are going to have us on the edge of our seat longer. It's going to be less of a bumpy ride and much of a pedal to the metal kind of vibe to that one. So 2 different matches, great in their own ways.
To me, it's really the ultimate 50-50 split, I feel, with this. I was going to say, could you see a Dwayne or anything like that shows up, interrupts, or even say a Roman that interrupts the steel cage match that keeps, because we know Punk's been taking off some of the UK shows or the international shows he's going to be on. I think they're going to do that story-wise. I think Punk versus Rollins right now is the fresher storyline than Ospreay Fletcher, but Ospreay Fletcher might be the better match overall, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, again, it all depends. Like that one's going to be a flavor. Like you can both be right. Like I know fans are going to run out to the internet and start tweeting the comparisons, but you both can be right. Like you had a piece of chocolate cake and you had some pie. Life is pretty good.
Well, no, this is one of those of whenever you go to a buffet. I don't know if buffets are similar, America versus Canada, but like if anyone's ever gone to a Ponderosa Steakhouse or anything like that, those all you can eat buffets. When you go and get that little ice cream cone, you got vanilla on one side, chocolate on the other, and you got the twist in the middle. That's what this is going to be. With having those 2 cage matches, that's the twist of everything's good, baby.
Both can be good. One doesn't
all the flavors.
Well, we got the infantry.
Yeah, with Shane Taylor. I like this. Why is this not more on my television, Tony?
Yeah, why is this not on TV more often? This is pretty solid as far as look, vibe, entrance.
Is it? I don't want to.
I wanted to click on. My apologies. We get rambly, folks, but there was one on. So listen, I'll be straight up about this one as far as it being International Women's Day. Are we going to get more than one women's match tonight? I'm actually surprised one went on as early as it did. Well, we got 2 because we got the Harley squash match.
Yes.
So we got the 2. And I don't think it plays a factor in any of that anyway, but shout out to all the women of the world, the women that keep the planet alive by, making the people. But shout out to all the women, mothers, daughters, sisters, cousins, nieces, all the above. It's
Man's hit the Beyonce, who run the world, girls. Who
right.
run the world, girls.
Give your ladies some love, folks.
Right? Or love a lady. What? But I've got Fletcher and Roddy right now doing their little in the center of the ring.
Yes, they are posing. Ospreay runs AEW, then need to fully let him flourish. Nick, I agree with you, man. This is something I've been really, really, really preaching and begging Tony. Just strap the rocket to Ospreay's back and let him take over this company. He is the most charismatic, energetic, captivating guy on your roster if done proper. Push this guy to the moon. He doesn't have to do the roller coaster, slowly click up to the top. It is Will Ospreay. Treat him like Will Ospreay and strap a rocket to his back and make him the face of your company. He's on every poster. He's on every show. We get more Ospreay than we can shake a stick at, and let him just dummy heels. You got so many heels. Let Ospreay just dummy one after the other after the other. Make him the guy. Build around him.
In a perfect scenario, which, by the way, I'm becoming a fan of the infantry. I wonder, though, if they just don't have them because on TV that much. Make them on a Collision act because of the Hurt Syndicate. You keep them Dynamite. But in a perfect scenario, if Moxley's the Death Rider thing actually worked and they were trying to destroy AEW and everything, Ospreay should be the guy that stands up for AEW and be the guy that fights back. This should be, Ospreay's leading the revolution of we're bringing in the new version of AEW. Make him the face of this fucking company. Yeah. Like every time he's out there, whether he's out there with Omega, when he's out there, he's been in the best feud of fucking 2024, arguably, with him and Fletcher.
Yeah,
he needs to be the linchpin of this company instead of just. He's really cool, but we don't put him anywhere near the top.
Yeah, and he's got to get away from Callis. I feel like this has been like 3 years running, or 2 years running on and off because he wasn't there full time. But I mean, literally, I just can't emphasize enough. Get him away from it. If you were doing Kenny Ospreay at Revolution, I'm not mad about what we're getting, but what could it be?
Is it the curse of Callis? Because even Kenny's still dealing with Callis.
Right? Can't get away. We talk about the Jericho Vortex. Like you said, the curse of Callis is dead.
Americadabra. He does look like some Voldemort motherfucker, too. Americadabra.
He's got the scar.
Exactly. He's got a scar now, too. Don Callis, the manager who lived.
The man who lived.
Right.
Is the infantry supposed to be a cooler private party?
No, they are. They're not supposed to be. They just are.
They kind of are, right? But I like this, and I mean, you and I are both big fans of Shane Taylor.
Yeah.
Again, something I would love to see consistently on Collision, on Dynamite. That this is better than some of the stuff you are showing us.
I will ask this, and I think I might know your answer.
Oh,
right.
Backbreaker by Roddy.
Yeah. But should AEW have a quote unquote brand split to the extent like much more divided, I feel. And I think it would help each show feel a little bit stronger.
Well, what I would say off the top about that is I do believe that there's some egos within that building that are too soft to pull this off, but they could prove me wrong. They
tried it and Punk got fired over it. So
right, it didn't work out. And again, there was like this competitive, even amongst the fan base, like they were rooting against Collision not doing well. That's odd. You work for the company and you're like, I hope Saturday fails. Fuck that guy. Like, are you what?
That's a McMahon wet dream there of actually getting like people that watch specifically Raw to cheer that SmackDown fails or vice versa. Like infighting, civil war. What the hell?
But ultimately, I mean, I think the biggest benefit to that idea is if you split the brand, the shows already feel disconnected. Yes. Now it will make sense. You can do whatever you want on Saturday, completely separate from what you're doing on Wednesdays. And then that disconnect makes way more sense. And it makes each, especially Collision, feel more like it has a purpose, because the purpose is unto itself at that point.
Yeah, the Collision has become cohesive. Right. with that, because then too you can explain away the titles. You can say the trios is a Collision thing, the tag titles is a Dynamite thing, vice versa, what have you. Continental title on one brand, international title on the other brand, and the world title can bounce between both. And again, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, we know there's enough talent to disperse it.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the way you get more. I know this is the thing, that because it's very much sounds WWE formulaic, and it's what they kind of have done essentially with Raw, SmackDown, NXT. But I think it just kind of shows that it works a little bit. You have enough talent, you have enough production. You know, you don't have to say you're rival to them. You can do something similar. It's not that different. Like, it works to me. It's you can't ignore a formula that works just because somebody else did it.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think you play to your strengths. And if your strengths is just kind of lining up these matches on a weekly basis, and you're not that good at connecting one show to the other and bridging the purpose of it, like this feels like people have pointed out, we still watch it, but this is kind of the first just a Collision, nothing else on that we've done in a hot minute. And it feels like Thursday Night Thunder.
I've said that for the longest time. Well, that's what Rampage was. And then Rampage's gone the way of the dinosaurs.
I anoint you.
So right, you have carried on the lineage of shit. But that's the thing. Well, so Big Dog even saying, so if they do a brand split, we'll have an AEW Dynamite champion and AEW Collision. No, it explains away having that many titles in one company, trying to get them across basically one show, because Collision always feels like
big
one-off.
Wow. Okay, sorry. Just real nice frog splash, 2 count. Yeah. Infantry showing out, bro.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Think about it. If you had Shane Taylor and the Infantry that kind of were a Collision group and everything, you had stuff that was specific to Collision, you would want to tune into it just to see Shane Taylor, I feel, and everything, versus you might see it once in a blue moon because Dynamite's got this. You make those things feel different. You make them feel exclusive, so you get viewership to both shows. And like I said, you have the world champion run across it. It's a formula. It fucking works. It's in front of you. And I feel like people don't want AEW to do it because the WWE's done it.
Yeah. Oh, Kyle O'Reilly comes in with a big boot. I like all of that. And I mean, again, this is the time where people often take this kind of conversation as hatred for the company. It's not. This is all constructive. This is all like optimism and options. And I mean, ultimately, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's in the same vein of the argument you were making with Momo and everything, of there's so much talent, having that feel exclusive. Now you have to you've split that roster, you've trimmed it down. So now you've got X amount of people. You go from 100 people to 60 people you got to work with. Now you have no choice but to book them because you don't have the other 60 people available.
And you do, I think the other positive to that, Nick, is you do joint pay-per-views, but now you got 4, maybe 5 interesting things from Wednesday, 4 or 5 interesting things from Saturday to make up this 10-card pay-per-view.
Exactly. Again,
instead of one, you going from your best story down to your 10th level story. You know, you get MXM in a 6-man kerfuffle with the Cookie Man.
Again, it's a story. It's a formula that's so in front of them, but no one wants to touch it because it's too close to what WWE does.
Yeah,
it's not because it's not a bad formula. Yeah. It's just because it's what WWE does. And it's really, when you break it down like we just did, it does nothing. It would do nothing but help the company.
Yeah.
And again, perfectly like you said, I hadn't even thought that far into it.
Yeah.
Well, it explains the 10-card pay-per-view, etc., a lot better. Because you can't do a 5-card pay-per-view with that.
The high-low for the 1, 2, 3.
Total elimination.
Yeah, no, I think you're 100% bang on with all of it. And I mean, those are positives, and it does help play to your strengths and kind of get away from your weaknesses. The lot of opportunity, then it's not such a big deal. Like we see with Lyra, Bird Lady on Raw, it's not a big deal that she has the title because the way the show's kind of structured. So you're not as bothered by like Danny holding on to a mid-card belt on a show because you understand the depth.
Right. versus you're under an avalanche. And again, you put Ring of Honor Thursday, make it actually on a network, something. Would you make Ring of Honor a Prime exclusive?
That'd be cool. It would bring kind of a buzz to it.
It's just behind a different paywall. I just realized that. I just moved it from one paywall to another. Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the Ring of Honor thing might have to just become something else. I don't know. I really don't know what they're going to do with it. But ultimately, it would be nice if it could feel like Ring of Honor again. And you got a lot of young talent to really do it with. Make it your version of NXT. But now everyone out there is going to say, oh, you just want them to be exactly like the other company with all of this. They
have different fucking talent and everything. They have different storylines. Just because you run every NFL team runs a fucking the same type of fucking formation and everything. Jesus H fucking Christ. Just because it is it's part of the game. It's how it fucking works.
Right. Yeah, both
every NHL team starts off with 5 players and a fucking goalie. Jesus Christ. It weren't that hard.
Well, they're using the 5-guy system. I think we're gonna go the 4-man way. Like what?
Right, they're running a 3-4 offense. Or defense. We need to run a 4-3.
Soccer. That's soccer. Someday.
Well, it's also football, but still, just because fucking the Fed does something, and I hate calling it the fucking Fed. That's such an IWC thing. But just because WWE has done something doesn't mean you can't do it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
No, you're right, man.
Blood pressure. Whoosah.
I mean, again, ultimately, as fans of the show, we just genuinely kind of want to see Tony grab onto some of these, or okay, fine. You don't want to be like the dub. You're not going to do a brand split. Then really get someone to help you bridge Wednesday and Saturday. Make Saturday destination television. Like
you have too much talent for it to be a bridge thing. I think, though, that's the thing.
I agree with that.
You have as much talent as WWE does.
Stubborn, and he goes his way, which we've watched for 6 years.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Hypothetically, if he was just adamantly not want to do it, he's got to find a way to make Collision matter again.
He's just Butters in that South Park episode where Simpsons did it.
Right.
Did it. But that's the thing is, sorry, I know we're trying to be hopium, all the optimism, and it's still been an all right show, but you can see how we're excited for Revolution because of AEW's been on a trend. They've gotten better. They've finally realized and started to very much focus internally versus externally and move from big venues just so we can. That's the thing that I'm glad they moved away from being like the WWE of going to big venues just to say they went to big venues when they can't fill the big venues. Going to smaller venues, going to unique venues and everything has worked. AEW's been on an uptick quality-wise for the most part. Everything of it's getting a lot more back to what AEW was. And now we're just throwing out ideas that can help get there the next thing and really solidify, make an exclusive to AEW, make AEW feel unique again. That's what we need in a shirt right there. Make AEW unique again. But I don't know if you muted or I can't hear you.
Yeah, I hit the cough button and forgot to uncough it.
There you go.
But
Malachi Black, Undertaker, uncoffin.
Right. Make it grunge again. Make it the alternative. And I know some of the ideas we have, but you do things that work, but you do it your way, and you make it work, and you make it different, and you make it unique. You can't just keep selling us on the car wrecks. I was, listening to somebody the other day talking about I can't even remember who it was, but this whole idea of if every day you walk by the same 2 guys fighting on the lawn, the first couple of times it's pretty fucking cool. They were kicking the shit out of each other. But by day 6, 7, 8, with no rhyme or reason, without any story, it's just 2 guys being stupid. And it's not interesting anymore.
That's like the alternative take of like Cornette talking about what makes wrestling great.
Yeah,
2 guys you pull over on the side of the road.
Right? It's like part 2.
Yeah, that's the once AEW showed up. That's his story for it.
Right. But we got John Moxley on the screen, folks. We are rolling through as we reach the almost the top of the hour here. I shall return in a moment, my friend.
Right. As why are you struggling with this? What? There. Thank you.
I have
Finally.
no idea what the hell's going on, my guy.
I don't know. Well, clearly, yes, KJ's taking a pause for the cause as I got Moxley on my screen. But yes, we did our little tap dance routine there for half a second. But yeah, proof positive, folks, that we are live absolutely fully with this. We're not AI. We're not imitated. We're often duplicated. What? But again, just I really wanted the Moxley thing to work, and I think it could, it should. I mean, the Yuta thing now with him shaking hands and, Moxley telling him, you better run when he's right there. That Moxley should be the same guy that's out there trying to put a fucking plastic bag over his head. Of you turn on the Brotherhood, all of this. Like, Moxley should go. I don't know about the whole, plastic bags and making people drink poison type of thing, but if you're going to go with it, go full Psycho, go full, 12 Crazy Monkeys, all of this. Go full Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson. I hope I said that right. Go all can Fight Club with this. Go I'm taking over. And again, he was in a group called The Shield with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns and was the lunatic fringe, was the guy that a lot of people thought was going to be the biggest star out of it, sitting there cutting promos and felt unhinged and, actually really a psychotic and was going to just be an agent of chaos and destruction. And instead he's been an agent of snortum and boredom and changing channels. It's again, don't run away from things that might work just because they're attached to WWE. If he would have done something that seemed much more akin, which this I felt should have, could have, would have been, and I'm not saying he had to do it close, perfect to that or anything, as I got Hologram coming out right now, but I know I'm going on a diatribe, but if he would have been a little bit more close to, if he sat there and was doing back to the stuff of the little handheld camera instead of this big production camera shot in the back of a fucking Tahoe in a desert and everything, it would have felt more guerrilla warfare, guerrilla tactics and everything. And it would have helped that story a bit. And now I think it's just gone on for too long. It's got too far down the rabbit hole with no end in sight that they need to just kind of kill it off respectfully. And I think that's what they're going to do on Sunday. Well, I still see Cope winning. I don't know if he actually leaves with a belt or if like Christian or something, like if Christian cashes in, could it be of a Jay White turn, what have you? Big Nate, be quiet. We got Hologram. No. We got the Tony Khan cosplayers. I got Dralistico coming out right now. So I know we've been on a whole tangent here for a minute, but let me know who you got for this match. I know it's taped. I don't care. The title ain't on the line until tomorrow night anyways, so get your practice in. Let me know who you got for this match. I actually like Dralistico. Again, this whole Lucha kind of fashion, this Los Ingobernables that they've had with Rush, with Dralistico, with Taurus, with Mortos, with when Andrade was there. Like, for everyone that likes to really hate on the LWO, AEW hasn't exactly done, super great with a bunch of Luchas, especially when, they let Penta walk and now have let Fenix walk. So come see, come saw with this, but Dralistico actually has some goddamn size behind him and has an attitude. Hologram, where's Starboy Charlie? Is this their Starboy Charlie under a mask, I feel? Christopher, yes, will be. What? Hologram needs to use his illusion. What? Mox is doing the very worst gimmick of Brian Pillman. No, yeah, that's the thing, is to me it's just starting to feel more and more it's like it's a really bad Dean Ambrose, which is kind of fucked seeing how he was Dean Ambrose. And again, I'm not shooting on the company. I just want them to do better Like it's some of this is just so obvious. It's painful at times to really see. And there's some stuff that's absolutely fantastic. Like that's the thing is through no fault, through nothing that they've theoretically, done storyline creative wise. I'm still super excited for Revolution. I mean, Osprey versus Fletcher in a steel cage, Kenny Omega versus Takeshita, Moxley versus Cope. Even as much as I was shiting on the Mox gimmick, I still think it's going to be a good match. Hurt Syndicate versus the Outrunners, really good matches. Just wish the rest of the product fit and really worked was much more cohesive. Can't wait to see the debut of Kushida on MLW Intimidation Games. Well, there you go. Where's Blue Sky? Oh boy. No, why did I click back to it? Yeah, Charles, it got me in the first half. Sky Blue, I believe, is on the sideline recovering. Yeah, because she had that whole feud around with her and Julia Hart. And that's another thing. You could have had, you could have, say, Julia Hart and the Hellhounds be part of Collision exclusively. Oh! Hologram with a tope into Dralisco. And that man just planted himself. He gave himself DDT into the fucking barricade here. Is it still crazy to anyone that they sell hologram masks, which isn't even the hologram mask he wears anymore, but they never sold a Harley Cameron Mercedes Monet puppet, never a Penta mask, never a Phoenix mask. Again, top to bottom incompetence. But yeah, Tope. It's the discount version of Apple Pay. Tope. Oh! Can Senton over the top from Dralistico. Can swell ass Mystico. Can Sin Cara. That was actually good spot. Yeah, well, it's going to be good match. They do have still good wrestling. It's just everything ancillary to it makes it feel much more diminished, much more weaker. It's when you present something, even if it's so good, if you present it like shit, it's going to appear like shit. Little bit. That's the thing is Tony's going on. Well, the hardcores and it's just going to be good matches. Yeah, but if you don't get them in the gate to watch the good matches, what the fuck are the good matches going to mean? Kevin, what up? MDB, by the way, shout out. I don't know. Listen, hi. Arthur Murray, you had fun during Collision. What? Well, we're still watching Collision. Oh, Jalisco with the big swanton off the ropes there. Army with a 2 count. Have you seen the WCW live stream? Charles, no, I have not watched I haven't with the WCW YouTube channel that WWE put out, by the way, which, again, big fan. I know I take the pot shots and do the Bret Hart WCW and everything, but I was the kid that grew up and literally would be flipping back and forth through the channels, would have a tape in the VHS player to record. I don't know if that was, later on, but where you could record, one thing while you're watching another, all that. But was flipping through the channels, has, as I'm in commercial break, but yeah, there I'll do it for MDB, the WCW. But I have some of the best of Nitros. I've gone through, multiple upon multiple WCW in pay-per-views and like that. I really like, and now I just really want them to do that with ECW, is have WWE pull out the whole vault, have all the ECW stuff, because and that's, I think, why too, this generation, our generation, whoever's generation, I guess I'll speak for probably more me and KJ here a bit, but you grew up watching WWE and WCW, and you could sneak and watch ECW, or you had the tape trading and everything. Like, for everybody that thinks that this kind of, 30 and above, what have you, around about like a certain fan base that is just super loyal to one side or the other, like, we grew up to where there was so many companies, to where it flourished, to where you were flipping through the channels there was no loyalty, or if there was, it was very minute. You certainly didn't have fucking Twitter to talk about it. But no, this is what we want. This is why we want every company to succeed, to be the best that it can, because that's when wrestling was the best. When you're sitting there fucking flipping through of, oh, I gotta sit there and anyone remember the prev button on your remote, because it would go back to the channel you were just watching. That's how you could flip back. For me, it was 15 for the USA Network and 37 for TNT for WCW. Like, that's the thing, is wrestling's good when everybody fucking rises, when a rising tide raises all ships, versus this whole, well, to hell with them, this whole warfare thing. That's why, again, we here is very much just want everyone to succeed, want wrestling to be the best that it can be, should be, would be, could be, instead of just, well, to hell with them, they're on the other side. Because that's what we grew up with. There was no sides. It was just, how much good wrestling? What good wrestling do I want to watch that's going to keep me entertained? And it made it fucking competitive. I will watch WWF on my TV and record WCW in the guest room to watch after. Similar type, my guy. Absolutely. We all want AEW to get better. Yeah, that's the thing, is a rising tide raises all ships. In any sort of form or fashion, it's really that simple. It's, they can go, you get conned into this whole idea that it's a doggy dog shit, but it's really, if the rising tide raises everybody. WWE is creating more show to show if it's talent and try to build stars. I don't know why AEW doesn't try to follow formula to build stars. Speaking of building stars, or the star who built me. What? But yeah.
Right. Let's go. Heading to the Walk of Fame. What is happening here?
I got Drell used to go with an attempted Irish whip, and then we're rolling through parkour. Get ready, hardcore parkour.
The match is nuts. Spanish fly on the outside.
Well, and I mentioned this while you were on your pause of, how do you feel? You watch very much. You're here every Wednesday, everything. Does AEW present luchas, and especially you're a fan of lucha wrestling, do they present their lucha style performers and everything better than WWE? If everybody likes to knock the LWO and you get lumped into that, but this is, we got the obligatory luchas.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, as far as just letting them go out and do their thing like this, they do, right? They, I mean, in all their booking, in all their matches, the WWE has a much more conservative style, right? So even some of the high flyers, we don't get a ton of just running around like this. Now, that's slowly changing with, you know, the onset of some of the smaller guys that have come in, Triple H's booking. So we're seeing more and more guys that can just go. But ultimately, yeah, it's AEW as far as just like, go. Come back in 12 minutes.
But do they, like, is there any cohesive? Is there any, all the poison runners, hurricane runners, but yeah. Is there
probably losing it?
That's the thing, though, is, well, I mentioned about you got to get people in the building, because you can have really cool matches, but if no one there's to watch it, if a 5-star match happens in the woods and no one's there to fucking rate it, is it even a 5-star match? But
right.
Is there any sort of story cohesion amongst the luchas, or is it just, you have a mask, I have a mask, let's fight?
That's pretty much it, right? Like, it kind of falls into the same problem as a lot of the AEW programming, right? Like, this is a good match. It doesn't mean anything. There's no, like, it's not a thing. It's not a story. It's just here. So yeah, this match is fun. And it goes back to that whole, you know, we all get excited for the car crash, but if the same mofos are crashing every day on my drive home, I'm going to get tired of traffic eventually.
Yeah. Well, we're just throwing all the elbows, they did the forearm spot that they always do in AEW matches, just outside of the ring instead of inside the ring.
You got to do it somewhere, right?
Well, they got to be on a different side of the border. Ha.
Ah, clever. But both men down. Aubrey in the middle. What a fight. There's AEW chants breaking out. I mean, this is the best match.
Is this a Tijuana horse fight if Aubrey's reffing it?
Oh, my Lord. But it's one of AEW's best matches of the week. This is great.
It's crazy. It's a thing.
Oh, breaker.
I don't know how I feel with you saying that this might be one of the best matches for AEW of the week. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad match, but I'm saying I would have thought Dynamite would have had something a little better.
Someone out there right now, fact checkers in the chat. Tell me a better AEW match from this week that was more exciting, more fun. What was a good match we had this week with AEW? Someone remind me.
I don't know, but Charles saying Dave Meltzer gave a 5-star match to anything, and MDB pointing out she just got it a 10, and they hopped in the ring.
20 count.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Sit down powerbomb.
International rules.
Sponge.
Now, are you not convinced that this might just be Starboy Charlie under this hologram mask?
No, that's definitely not Starboy Charlie. That guy, as small as he is, has about 85 pounds on Starboy Charlie.
Fair enough.
Starboy Charlie at scene in Little Orphan Annie.
Please, Con, may I have some more?
Sorry.
But speaking of more, you're going to get some more, KJ, because I'm going to take a pause for the cause, and I'll be right back. So.
Right. All right, Nick taking a pause for the cause, folks. We are rolling through. Make sure you be a friend, tell a friend. We are almost at triple digits in this chat, so keep it coming. We got a lot of action coming your way. Both men are down again. We're at 92 likes on the stream. Make sure you hit that like button. Let's get it to 100. Let's see it go through the roof, folks. But tell me a better AEW match from this week, because this one's been fun. Hologram is Mexican Shark Boy. What a match. More. Still going. I've been liking Collision better than Dynamite, but I watch both. You might be onto something here, Robert. I mean, this match is insane. Oh, Draglistico, feet on ropes, busted. Aubrey actually saw the foot on the ropes this time. Two. This is crazy. Let's go. What a match. Up goes Draglistico. Helicopter. Neener. What? And down. That's over. Into the blue thunder bomb. It's over. Hologram with a big win. And listen, I've said a lot of not nice things about this whole hologram situation, but my God, they just got time. Go cook. And that's what they did. Hell of a match. And I haven't seen one suggestion in the chat yet of a match that outdid it. Like, if you think about the matches, oh, we got Horace. Taurus. He's trying to rip the mask off hologram. Oh, wait a minute. We got company. Is that a lane? Oh, no. Commander. Chaos in the Lucha division. Let's go. What a match. I like it, big dog. I like it. When does Alex Abrahantes have his contract expire? That's what I want to know. I'm petitioning right now for the WWE to pursue Alex Abrahantes. Mortos is trying to get this mask off of Commander. Draglistico back in the ring, and the beatdown continues. Who knew there was exciting stuff happening with the Lucha division? Blue Thunder wins the match for the second time in 2025. Crazy, right? As we go to last Saturday, where FTR picked up a win. Or Dax, somebody did. What a match. Let's go. Abrahantes. Man, if he could get a bigger stage and be utilized proper. But right now we got FTR, Danny, and the Undisputed Kingdom having a powwow. A little bit of an apology session, apparently. Do you think TK adds 2 more matches to the pre-show? Yeah, I think the last couple pay-per-views, Damian, we've seen Tony will slip in a couple unannounced Ring of Honor-ish type pre-show matches. So I'd expect maybe 2 more. Could be wrong. He seems to have dialed it back a little bit from the 14, 15 we were getting. 10's a nice sweet spot. Maybe 8. Yeah, a very, very disrespectful. What was? Help me. Abrahantes can stay in AEW. He has cringe style. Nobody. Oh, come on, Tom. You gotta give some love to Alex. Big fan. Oh, I see. There you go. That makes sense. Now I get you. But yes, the disrespect so they tried to rip off both the masks. It's getting heated. More toast. Oh, but Danny and Cole having a little chit chat. Very disrespectful. Facts. It's the biggest sin in Lucha. Daniel Garcia looks like, oh, that's not very nice. And it's Break-A-Wish now. He looks like the first ever Break-A-Wish kid. All right, so setting up the match between Cole and Danny. So very interesting. The night's rolling on. I will say this about Collision. That last match was absolutely excellent. I actually think it's the match of the week for AEW. But I think as far as building up the night before your Revolution pay-per-view, I feel like there could have been a little more focus, a little more emphasis on that. I think we could add more presence from people being involved in Revolution. I think we could have leaned into Revolution a bit more. But ultimately, I mean, it's had good things. It's not all bad. Garcia but why? Like, I mean, I'm not quite sure why you would go that route. Facts. Let's go. WWE doesn't need to unify shit. All right. Very strong opinion. As right now, ladies and gentlemen, I am in a commercial break. I will take a second to remind everybody who's listening right now, we are back tomorrow for AEW Revolution, 6 p.m. We go live. It's going to be a hell of a show. We're looking forward to it. As it stands right now, 10 matches, 1 on the pre-show. And Nick, Anthony, and I all agreed, like there's 4 or 5 real strong potential match of the year candidates going into this pay-per-view. So strap in and strap on for this one. I know we talk a lot about the booking options or how we got to certain things, but ultimately none of that matters now. It's game time. It's game 7, show up, show out. And this card literally could produce 3-4 contenders for match of the year easily. Adam Page and Hangman and MJF can absolutely deliver. Kenny Takeshita absolutely deliver. Will Ospreay Fletcher, Steel Cage, gonna deliver. Then I'm a little concerned about Moxley Edge, but they could overachieve. Tony, Mariah also could deliver. There is a lot of options on this card, a lot of excitement, and we will be here for all of it. We are back Monday, a huge night on Monday for Raw. A big one as we are on that road to WrestleMania. We getting in that Steel Cage, CM Punk, Seth Rollins. What will this look like? What will happen? Who else gets involved? Does the Tribal Chief show up to get some Rumble revenge? We will find out. And then, of course, all week long for all your wrestling, make sure, take this link, share it anywhere you talk about wrestling. We will greatly appreciate it as this family continues to grow. Ospreay, Fletcher, Kenny Omega versus the Alpha. Absolutely. Ospreay versus Fletcher, Kenny Omega versus the Alpha. Yep. Kenny Omega versus the Alpha. What's up? Side note, anyone watching Celtics Laker? I am not. AD and AZ. Do you think AEW is going to do something to counter the Cena heel turn for the ratings? They don't. They can't. Even if they wanted to, Frankie, like what could you do to even get close to countering that moment? What? Bring in Shane McMahon. Maybe close. But I don't, there's no need to compete with WWE on this one. Or, I mean, just do you. We've said this a lot. If they can just stay in their lane, who cares what they do? We're just going to do us. And I think that's a lot better for business. I think that helps them a lot. I don't think this turn, it's something you can compete with. There's nobody in their company that could do what Cena just did. Nobody has the history. John Cena's been in wrestling longer than AEW has been around. So I do have the Hurt Syndicate on screen talking about the Outrunners. Bring Vince in. That would be like that. There you go. That would compete. After WrestleMania, there's the draft. Yes, a lot of talk about this. They are doing a draft. At least that's what is rumored right now, Damien. So yeah, we'll be here live for it. Nick, myself, and Anthony will do another draft. Where we go head to head and draft our own rosters and have a lot of fun with it. So yeah, we'll see. Why is Don Callis appreciation project still a thing? I have no idea, man. Your guess is as good as mine, Tom. We hurt people, by the way. Paul, how you doing? What's up, Chris? Welcome back. As here come the Outrunners. Again, I did not think, at least I did not know this was advertised. Every match is exactly the same. If you have watched one Lucha match, you have watched every Ostrich, Ricochet, and any others. I wouldn't fully say that's true, Paul. I like me a good Lucha match. I like me a good fast pace. I think you have guys out there that do offer a different style within the style. I think there's upside to it. I get the criticism that it could feel the same. I think it's on them. That's where storytelling comes in. It makes the matches have a little more vibe to it, a little more feel. They then feel a little more unique. But ultimately, I wouldn't blanket statement that. I love what they're doing here with the Outrunners. Let's go. Unfortunately, going to lose tomorrow. We hurt people. Yes, we do. Go Outrunners. Does Triple H save Malachi Black after WrestleMania 41, KJ Nick? Yes, and Ray Phoenix. Highly possible. I know as fans, the minute it's reported online, we're like, okay, today, and if they don't get it, they get disappointed. But ultimately, Triple H is in no rush. You have things already in flight. Maybe you're a little concerned that if you bring in a Malachi, but even if you had Malachi come back at Mania, that's a big Mania moment, a big Mania surprise. So yeah, I mean, I think Triple H is in the driver's seat. Triple H absolutely has the opportunity here with all of this talent to take his time. Phoenix, I think you get Penta in a situation where he needs help. Phoenix shows up, makes sense. I did like some people suggesting that perhaps Phoenix would come in against Penta. I think that would be an interesting curveball if they could do it right. But here come the varsity athletes, the pro athletes, the all-stars, the pro stars. I have no idea. Tony Nese is still there. Yep, he really is.
I never had the makings of a varsity athlete, but
facts.
You touched on a point that I really want to talk about real quick as we're about to get this match underway, bell ring, about how it comes off really well that AEW is not going to answer the Cena heel turn, but you nailed it. They have nothing. You literally have nothing that could do it. So again, it's the Joker Batman interrogation scene. Yep. You have nothing to threaten me with. You have nothing that could actually be equivalent to that. So it's your best play to not even try, because if you do, you're going to fail and it's going to look like a weak attempt. You don't have anything to do with it. So just stay in your lane and it's the perfect avenue to take.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, do you. Just do you. I mean, there's certain things that WWE, because of their history, because of their experience, because of the name value they've built up, that they can do that you can't. It doesn't matter. Just put on the best show you can put on.
Right.
As the Outrunners are in control of Tony Nese's team.
Yeah, the varsity athletes.
Varsity athletes.
Yes. Well, that's why I made the Junior Soprano joke, but you do have it beneath me and everything, so I will mention it. I checked it to make triple sure while I was on my pause. But independentwrestling.tv, you can go there, you can watch the show fully live, everything like that. It'll be on a little bit more before Revolution and we'd be watching it. But Revolution, again, that might be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 hours, especially because they're probably going to have a press conference too. That'll start on Monday morning.
Right. Yeah. No, again, I don't expect to. I know we're going to start at 6 p.m. on Sunday. I have no idea when we're going to leave. Again, it's most likely going to be Monday. Wee hours of Monday.
Right.
All right. Turn into a breakfast with the boys real quick.
Well, that's going to be a lot of, especially when we're out there, or at least definitely brunch with the boys. Or do we have to change the name a little bit because it'd be more, supper time, lunchtime, everything?
Right. I think anything during the day qualifies as a brunch with the boys.
Anytime in daylight.
Right. But Josh Woods deserves better. He's a star. I like Josh Woods, but he's a guy that would do well, I think, in TNA. And I can't remember if he had a run in TNA already or not. But Josh Woods is a talented guy.
That's where Tom Allen's even mentioning, where is Josh Woods? Is he? Right. They've secretly, and again, it's not been talked about as much as with the WWE releases or not re-signings. We're not out here talking, cutting podcast promos and everything. But
I saw on the internet that Abaddon is not getting.
Abaddon and Camarato.
Camarado. I'm telling you right now, we will see Camarado again. If he wants to be a wrestler, I think that's a guy that TNA or MLW or even the Dub could use. Like, imagine Camarado comes in as the new heavy for Stax and the family as they turn on Tony. Camarado's gigantic, man.
Camarato and Rusev should be a fucking thing. That's a tag team right there. They look like brothers. They look like cousins.
The Hairy Beast Club.
Exactly.
No, I mean, again, I think Camarado's a guy. I don't know what his wrestling mind is like or what his overall. We barely saw him, but he's such a big dude.
Right, but we have outpouring crying and how dare they do this with Carmella. Right. Yet Abaddon, who is really talented and was in the Mansoor spot sat there and only showed up, around October, around spooky season. And we knew it. She was the Wendy Spooky Dookie Choo. Mm-hmm. And, just gets not renewed, just move on about your merry way, but no one bats an eye. But, Gable Steveson or Odyssey Jones is let go. Right. And the world is falling. They hate women. They hate children. They hate pregnancies, all that.
Yeah, you heard it here first, folks. TK hates goth chicks.
Right. He's not a big fan of Hot Topic. He just hates black lipstick, heavy metal, all that.
As niece with the Irish whip. Josh Woods, potluck with the boys is hilarious, by the way. We almost should do that as a member only potluck. Bring your own meal. We'll talk about it.
It's a mukbang. We just eat the whole time. No, there's too many streamers that eat while they're already live and just suck at doing either. So yeah.
Who is Josh Wood? Is a former Ring of Honor pure champion.
Yeah, he really kind of held that down. Like, I wouldn't mind fantasy book to fantasy book if you could get Josh Woods, Josh Alexander. I know a lot of Joshes. Not Josh Matthews though. And Ethan Page. That kind of feels like some really badass the North or Christ EY, Josh Woods. Like, I don't know if he's Canadian, but Josh Woods and the way he was presented, he feels Canadian, very much like Minnesota, that close to Canada, but not Canada.
I don't think he's Canadian, but I get your vibe. He's definitely got that feel to him. But again, I think he's a talented guy. Real quick with Abaddon, do you think she lands on her feet? Like, do you think she lands in like a TNA and could be helpful?
GCW. Well, actually, her in TNA with Rosemary, she's your new Rosemary.
Your new Choo Choo?
No one needs a new Choo Choo. Thomas the Tank Engine sucks. Fuck Wendy Choo. Fuck the Polar Express. I'm just, mad at trains now because of Choo Choo. But no, you could have Abaddon take on that kind of mantle and TNA's done the spooky female member of the roster gimmick really well, a la Rosemary, Daphne, etc. So that would work.
Absolutely. So again, listen. I know the releases or the failure to re-sign. It's unfortunate, and we've said it before. It's part of the business, but in a lot of cases, it really is an opportunity. I mean, seeing Abaddon once a year is not great for her career, not great for her psyche. I know I don't want to speak on her behalf. She could have been completely thrilled with how everything was, but this is an opportunity for her to branch out. And it's the same with everyone else. We talk about Tegan Knox or even a Carmella. Carmella, you're bitter and you're not happy. Well, now you can go somewhere and prove that they made a mistake. Everybody has that option.
Right. Well, and that's, again, I mentioned this while you were on your pause of we're the generation of you flipping between WCW, AW, or between WCW, WWE. Now it's AW, WWE, but and then you get the little, maybe you get lucky, you get a catch an ECW show or two, or you get somebody that's got a VHS tape of this or that. Like, we grew up where wrestling was thriving. So to be in this generation now, be labeled as somebody that like has a side, has one something to fail is just an insane theory to me.
Right. Oh, slam. Outrunner's on fire right now, folks. The new WCW channel is awesome. I like that they're doing this. ECW coming soon.
I hope that we got New Jack in 2K25. Who the fuck cleared New Jack and Abyss?
Did you see the clip going around of the old Chappelle Show skit of New Jack's finisher in 2K25?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's again where I've let it slip one or two times by send off our personal send off of the Chappelle Show thing from the same skit and everything. Yeah, but also shout out to homie Big Trouble Ben Bishop. He was actually one of the background people in the 2K25 commercial, and I think
still going.
Yeah. And I think he actually did the work for Undertaker in the trailer and everything.
Yes. Oh, yes. That's awesome.
Yeah. So shout out to Big Homie, the man 6'11" or 6'12" or whatever.
6'12".
Yeah.
Oh, that was a bit of a botched finish. But we got there.
Up the win. Yeah.
That match went forever. Thank you so much, Maddie. We appreciate the kind words. IWTV is $10 a month on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Google Play Store, Apple TV, and Apple Play Store. Hashtag not sponsored. Thank you very much. Damn it, Nick, you stole my thunder.
No, you took my thunder and just ran with it. You went forward with it because I'm out here, barely making it across, barely swinging the bat across the plate. You can hit that shit out the park.
Right. As the Hurt Syndicate on the ramp, with the bit of
the Mariah May, Tony Storm, red carpet beat down here.
Yeah, from Queen of the Ring, the premiere, where Mariah decided to clap Tony upside the head.
Are you gonna watch Queen of the Ring? I actually tried to look to find it by me. There's like one theater in New Hampshire that's showing it, and it's like an hour and a half away from me.
Right, it's select.
So I might wait for streaming.
Yeah, no, I think that. I mean, things get to streaming so fast now. I will see it. I'm very curious. I thought they did a great job with the what was the last one they did?
Iron Claw.
Right? I thought that was really well done. I think if we could get more movies like this about this topic, about wrestling, it's great. It doesn't. I mean, again, to look at it from a serious life point of view and not just the over the top, the phony wrestling guys. It's a much better, it's a real cool story, a much better presentation overall. I love them. So yeah, long story long, I definitely want to see it, and I'm sure it'll be out on streaming in the next couple of weeks.
Well, and I just wish though too that AEW, especially with think about it, you have Camille in that movie. She hasn't been featured on AEW television in months. You have Tony Storm in that. You could have sat there and played into the whole Hollywood ending. You want to be the Hollywood star that you want to walk red carpets and everything. And then that's where you like just play into it a little bit more, can hype it up a bit. They did that with Iron Claw. We had the Von Erich sat there and had a nice little run in AEW because Iron Claw was coming out, but we can't do nothing with Queen of the Ring.
Yeah, right. I mean, again, I think it would have been advantageous for Tony to lean into it a little bit more. I think, again, it's opportunities and it's a learning thing for him. He's got to understand you got to maximize everything. I'll give him credit. I mean, Mariah slapping Tony on the red carpet, great move. You want that kind of buzz. You want that kind of holy shit moment. That's all for it. But ultimately, I think, I mean, the rumor is Camille, and we haven't been able to confirm this yet, Nick, but Camille might be done. Like, she's out. She signed a, they parted ways. It was not working.
Well, I mean, hot meat kettle, but yeah.
Naturally, this would be an angle. As right now, we are getting a package for Hangman and MJF. Overall, I mean, we're rolling along. Not a terrible show. I think the hologram match and Draglistico overachieved and actually cooked. If you're into Lucha style, that was a real fun one. But
they're getting. Sorry, I was just going to say they're getting better into integrating stuff, building towards Revolution with this. I feel like that this promo package, this video package, it is helping solidify a lot of stuff. They're getting better integration.
Yeah, I think we've talked about it. I think when you were in your positive, I still wish it was a little more Revolution leaning, right? Give me a little more Revolution-ish stuff, right? So, yeah, that's my only beef. It's the night before the pay-per-view. You got to make this collision feel a little more relevant than just a run-of-the-mill regular collision show.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is when you run Collision weekly, cool. You can have every episode still feel weekly and you're eventually playing to bigger storylines. This is literally the night before. This is your pre-show. This is your get this pay-per-view as much over as possible.
Yep. 100%. Absolutely 100%. I see TK and Daniel Garcia versus Adam Cole at Revolution in a rematch. I see TK add. I thought it said end.
End. Yes. How
do you feel? A lot of people have. Oh, yes, sir.
No, finish what you were saying.
Tony Storm versus Mariah May should be the main event at Revolution. This has been bandied around the internet quite a bit. How do you feel about the idea that this could be the main event?
It almost should. I think you talked about this on the prediction show. I think you actually had the best point with it being Moxley and Cope. You're worried that the main event is not anywhere near the best match on the show.
Not even close.
Right. So I could very much see that. I think you have to end with the world title just for the sake of that. That's again part of what's making the excitement for Revolution. What the excitement is for Revolution of there's that match. Omega Takeshita, MJF versus Hangman, Ospreay versus Fletcher. There's 4 matches right there. Could be match of the year, and we're not even talking about the main event. So I see your worry. I don't know. You almost feel like you might set that up for failure. Anything might fail in the main event with this lineup, with this show. So that's Cope versus Mox has the best chance of surviving.
You think? Yeah,
I think you got Adam Cope and you got John Moxley world title. You get the easiest escape route and cover up out of it if it doesn't do great.
Well, if you do Tony Storm and Mariah in the second last spot, and then you do Moxley Edge in the final spot, but you lead into it with a run of like what? Fletcher, Ospreay right before those 2 matches. You also have the MJF Page match, which could absolutely burn the building down. The Swerve and Ricochet is going to cook. I know people don't like Ricochet, but this is what he does. This is Puma.
And it's still Swerve.
This should cook. There's no reason why it shouldn't. I mean, if you run in with those 3 matches alone, and then you have to. I feel like there's a big risk with this pay-per-view of burning out at the end, especially if it's long.
But then why would you move the women's match to that? I think it's a spot that the main event's going to be burnt out regardless.
It might be. Yeah.
So anything that's there, and I think Cope, Mox, world title, it makes the most sense for it to be there. So you don't have to fight the narrative of why'd you put that there versus this there.
Yeah.
So you can get the easiest, make good out of it. It's the safest option.
Yeah. I almost part of me is put that Ospreay Fletcher match, if they don't muddy it too bad,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who's going to pull off following that. It could be insane. Like, this is going to be really interesting. Like, where do you put the Sasha match on this card? That is 100% becomes a bathroom break match. I hate to say it.
Do you start with the steel cage, go to women's match, go to tag match, go to
maybe tag
MJF
match,
Hangman, go to Okada, Brody, go to Omega, Takeshita.
Okada, Brody, shit.
Well, that's the thing, is I think you're going to see some that'll have connected, but you do have one or two that are breathers in between ish.
Yeah.
Like Momo Mercedes is a breather match, is a pause for the cause match.
Sure.
Respectfully, Brody versus Okada in the murderers row that is Revolution. That's the one that pause for the cause.
Yeah, because you don't really want to go like insane match, meh. Insane, meh. That's too many ups and downs. You want to kind of build to a crescendo. Like, so it's going to be very interesting where you kind of amp it up, kind of have your breathe moment somewhere around the middle, and then you put the gas pedal down for the ride home. So I'm so worried about Moxley and Edge underachieving and failing to deliver. Now they have an opportunity, and I will be here tomorrow, Sunday, if I'm wrong. But dude, if that is your main event match, it better be prepared to do something that we haven't seen from these two guys. If it's another Moxley Mayhem match, we're gonna fall asleep.
I think anything in that position, because again, this is, to me, you've got to ride the waves with this. If this is a murderer's row, a little bit of matches, and that's a credit to AEW. And again, why I think they need to do better. Imagine, we talked about it, if Collision matches and Dynamite matches had equal build going into this pay-per-view, this would be even that much better. You wouldn't have clearly this is I need to go to the bathroom match, but I think anything in the main event is going to get swallowed whole. Pause. Right. So, and you have something, you have the Christian Cage angle, you have the potential Jay White turn angle that you can still have something there that might, again, it's the safest option, it's the salvageable option.
Fair enough. As I got somebody asked what the main event is, I do believe it is this match, as we got Dancing Danny Garcia taking on Lee Moriarty.
Yeah, when you order fucking Channing Tatum Magic Mike off of Temu, you get Dancing Danny.
Listen, I don't know much, but Moriarty's ravioli is wicked.
What?
Wrong guy? No, okay. My bad. Why are we booing Damien? We like Damien.
That's what I was gonna. That's spoiler alert. Ring, 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 ding, ding, ding. Oh, this is why I look so sad, because initially when you were talking about they added a Garcia match. No, they didn't add a Garcia match. They added Chris Jericho versus Gravity to the pre-show.
No, they didn't.
I'm looking at the Wikipedia right now, and that's why I was like, no. And you're like, go. I was like, no, you don't.
Did that come up on the TV?
No, I have it on the pre-show. I looked at the Wikipedia page because somebody said in the chat that they added Garcia versus somebody onto Revolution, and it turns out they didn't add that. They added Chris Jericho versus Gravity.
You're lying.
No, I will screenshot this and send this, and you can pull it up if I need to.
There is no way.
en.wikipedia.org/wiki.revolution_parentheses 2025. The second match on the pre-show is Chris Jericho with Big Bill and Brian Keith versus Gravity.
Nick out here with the wiki.
Wiki with Wild Boy from the West Side.
Oh, shut the
We can't avoid him. We can't avoid him.
Dude, this is the most gratuitous Nepo. That is insane. Chris Jericho with Big Bill and Brian Keith versus Gravity for the ROH Championship. so he can say he defended the title on a pay-per-fucking-view.
It's not even for the ROH Championship. It's just the singles match.
No, it says singles for the ROH World Championship.
Oh, all right. No, I refreshed. All right, fair enough. I refreshed. So see, I wasn't lying. I was so behind, I didn't even see it was for the Ring of Honor World title.
Yeah,
I remember, he's going to do this because he's going to get it on TV. He's going to get it on brand. He's going to get it because it's so over.
Yeah, is it on 0 Hour?
Yeah, it's on the pre-show. It's on the pre-show.
Oh, my God. That is awful. And Jericho thinks we want him to retire because he's such a good heel. It's just, they like to bill me. No, mother. Oh, my God. It's ridiculous. It is absolutely insanity. And anyone out there that just tries to justify this, it is nuts. In 2025, old-ass Chris Jericho going to fight a guy named fucking Gravity.
Is Gravity is a person? It's a concept. It's a theory.
It's a law. I don't break the law.
Right. I obey the law. I don't boogie down.
That is madness. And this is what we talk about with Tony Khan fucking up. And look, it's the night before. During Collision, they just slide it in there. Like almost like they don't announce it early because people will shit on it all week. Just slip it in there the night before.
Yeah, it's when you give your fucking pet of the pill that they have to take from the vet. You put it under a piece of fucking cheese and everything. You just slide it in there. But
I don't care that it's pre-show. Justify why this. Why not slide in another women's match, Tony? Why don't give me, a really good women's match? Megan Bayne takes on Deonna Purrazzo or
Megan Bayne, Thunder Rosa.
Thunder Rosa. Give me that match instead of, your favorite little fucking buddy that we got to tolerate constantly that nobody in your camp will believe is absolutely garbage and absolutely killing this show. It drives me nuts. I don't care if it's pre-show, post-show, no show. I don't care.
And I feel bad because Garcia is now on the barricade. But yeah, we've talked over all of this match about Jericho's stank.
That is nuts. That is mind-numbing, dude. That is one of the most nonsensical things that has ever been booked since we've been doing this. That is madness. And people are going, let it go. It's not a big deal. If the other company did it, people would lose their fucking shit. This is a guy taking time away from other people that deserve it. And they know they're being sneaky. That's the fucking thing that bothers me. And they're looking you dead in the face going, no, we're not. You're pissing on my leg and telling me it's raining. I don't understand.
Well, it's because they know that people don't want it, but we got to do it. And I just want someone please edit KJ out there just on the scene from 300 of this is madness. And then this is sickos type of thing. I'm like, it is fully, it's just, I at least don't hate that it's on the pre-show. Fuck it. If you're going to do an hour and a half pre-show of whatever enough, you've got AJ Big Boom. I can't hate at the pre-show. I'm more mad that they're using up Orange Cassidy and Mark Briscoe, etc. on the pre-show. Yeah. But let it be on the pre-show, fine, what have you. I just hate the fucking fallacy that Chris Jericho's actually Ring of Honor champion because he wants to get Ring of Honor over it. No, it's because he keeps going down the rungs on the monkey bars, and now he's at the final rung, and he's hanging on for dear life for that Ring of Honor world champion. I can still say I'm a world champion. I can be the Nuevo instead of the Ocho.
Fuck off. As Lee Moriarty is in control, but my guy, man. Again, I know people are going to say, KJ, you're overreacting. It's just a fucking pre-show match. But it's somebody else's minutes. It's somebody else's exposure. What the fuck are we accomplishing? This is what I said about Mercedes and Mumu. How does Jericho against Gravity help AEW be a better show for the future? What does this bring to the table? How does it make my night better other than give me an opportunity to go to the bathroom during the pre-show? What are we doing?
Is it the most, I don't want to go at a certain political group, but is it the most kind of idea of a political group in America of Chris Jericho is going to fight Gravity? That feels like a concept that political group might want to fight and everything. I want a t-shirt right now. I want KJ. We've got had KO with all the son of a plumbers and everything. I want KJ to have a shirt of Canadians against Jericho.
Dude, that is genius. That is fucking hilarious.
It needs to be a thing. I want the red shirt with the white lettering, just still like the MJF did nothing wrong, all that. I want Canadians against Jericho.
Right. Another match has been added. Daniel Garcia, Adam Cole pre-show.
On the pre-show. God damn, why do we need to keep refreshing the fucking Wikipedia page to find out what's booked on the show, Tony?
The night before. It's bad form. Right. Bad form. And
I'm not seeing it show up. So, Damien, I'll take your word, but I haven't seen it. And even then, so Adam Cole, Mr. Devil himself, the Undisputed Kingdom is pre-show. Daniel Garcia, who's main eventing Collision, your go-home show for this, is pre-show.
Yeah.
Oh, this feels like a fucking tube sock of a show.
Again, 10 matches. And again, this isn't negativity. This isn't hate, folks. 10 matches were good. A couple of them in there are matches that could not be great, but have potential to be really good, overachieve. Then you just start tacking on extra shit. And again, it feels like I can't hurt my friends' feelings. It feels like you're just doing it to do it. So they didn't get left out. You can use both the matches that have been announced tonight on the eve of the fucking show could be saved for Dynamite, for Collision, another time.
100%. This is an amazing comment here from Walk of Flock. Without gravity, Jericho wouldn't make Revolution.
It's crazy.
I love that point on multiple levels.
Right? And if Jericho wants to fight gravity for the Ring of Honor title, do it on Ring of fucking Honor. Crazy thought.
Who would have thunk it? The Ring of Honor title might have been defended on Ring of Honor instead of thrown last minute on a pre-show for a pay-per-view.
The CAJ. I love it. Canadians against Jericho.
And I almost wonder if on the back it should just say Judas in my country.
Oh, shit. And the people tried to compare The Rock to what Chris Jericho is doing. Chris Jericho hasn't done anything. I mean, he doesn't even rock when he's in
both
a band.
long-winded and fucking hot bags of air. That's about as close as you get.
Jericho doesn't even rock when he's in a band. So what the fuck are we people talking about?
He doesn't rock or roll.
He doesn't rock or roll. And if it one of the two, it's going to be roll and probably dinner roll by the looks of it.
Facts. He's got a few rolls. That's why he's out there. Harley Cameron's a better singer for Fozzy than Chris Jericho. And she even in the fucking band.
Facts. Yeah, MDB is right. We're a sucker for a good old acronym.
Exactly. It makes it easier. Trust me. When you're on the vitamins, you saw us sit there with, around and find out. We're out there. F-A, there's another F. 2 + 2 = 4. Right.
Danny just throwing down elbows.
Danny Garcia. Danny's got like the, either Kendrick Lamar, producer mustard, or the Hulk Hogan attire colorway.
2 count. Yeah. Danny Garcia is like if Norman Smiley was white. Just straight up. Straight up. I'm just saying.
No. Don't you come at Norman Smiley like that. I love me some Norman Smiley.
But that's what Garcia reminds me of. Like, who did it better? Norman Smiley?
Again, that's a joke, though, that like you, I, and maybe like 5 other people really got. But if you got it, that joke fucking slapped. He's so Hogan. By the way, MDB, if you want to sit there and hate on acronyms and everything, man's out here MDB, and it doesn't like when we do 3-letter acronyms.
Right. Followed up by AD and AZ. But no, man, that's too funny. Too fucking funny.
It's so fitting, though. Again, this is why going back again, hashtag not sponsored, but this is why go back and watch you some WCW highlights. Go back, watch, especially the hardcore titles. Shout out Big Vito, friend of the channel and everything. We got to pay respects to the Don of you know, the WCW hardcore division, everything
Danny,
was for a bit. Where was that?
Danny going 20 strong with Lee Moriarty tonight and has to turn around and fight fucking Adam Cole tomorrow. Has anyone thought this through?
On a pre-show.
Has anyone thought this through?
Right?
Danny goes 20 solid with Lee Moriarty.
The big wiggle.
The big wiggle. Oh, god damn, you're killing me, Smalls.
Core, what up? And yes, MDB, I pointed out. That's why it's in your name, asshole. But yeah. Jericho, Gravity, Garcia, and Cole just made the pre-show, yet there's no spot for Jay White's, who's part of the big angle. Valid point, valid argument.
But more to that, Nick. No room for Harley Cameron, who's one of your hottest talents right now that the fans really want to see. Why not let her open the pre-show with, like, out of the 3 matches, just to get the crowd buzzing? Oh, my God, Harley! You know, she'll get a pop. Start on a good note. But like I said, and I hate to keep saying the same names, Thunder Rosa, Megan Bayne, Statlander, Jericho, Gravity can get in there. We can't get a Serena D, Megan Bayne match.
Yeah, or a Statlander, Megan Bayne. Like, Megan Bayne should be on your pre-show. Like, there's so many other options versus Jericho's just Arriba.
If we can defend the Ring of Honor Men's Championship, why not Athena versus somebody in a really good match for the Women's Ring of Honor title? Why can't we highlight the women in this company? It's International Women's Day, and they're getting no love from Tony Khan.
Well, you gave no love to the international women that they showed on the show, so I don't want to hear nothing from you.
Facts. Touche.
Right, but again, we're going Broadway. We're going 20 minutes strong. We're nudging elbows and everything. Again, this would be really cool if they made me give a shit about it. Outside of it's just a really cool match. Like, again, if I'm not already sold on AEW and sold on Collision and everything, I'm not watching this show. There is nothing that appeals, that draws anyone into, I want to watch this fucking show.
It is Saturday Night Thunder when nobody that meant anything would go there and work it.
But that's the thing, is this is a hell of a match. No disrespect from them. It's just, I wish that more people gave a fuck about it, because I wish the company got more behind it.
Yeah. If this was a Ring of Honor world title match right now on a Collision, ignore everything else, but if this was for a Ring of Honor title, I'd be okay with it. If it's a Ring of Honor world title, get your mid-card title on somebody that matters. You got all these guys that are talented that could be doing something with that TNT title.
Well, I hate to burst your bubble, but this is your Ring of Honor TV title holder versus your AEW TNT holder. But yeah, no, that's the thing though, is again, this should be a main event of a TNT. Imagine if Ring of Honor was actually treated like the NXT that it should be and everything, and this became your kind of, I don't want to dare say it, but your Moose Oba of your champ, your kind of top guy versus their top guy at that same level. And this was featured then versus Collision.
We got a crossface. And I will admit, like, they're burning a little bit, man. Like,
it's a good match, but it's the wrong place. It's the right match, wrong time.
It's like my second favorite match of the night now.
What was your first?
Hologram and fucking
oh Jesus.
They cooked. They gave them 15 solid.
Well, they just got 20 solid as Garcia with the win.
Danny Garcia with the W, folks.
Is Matt Maynard just meant to be more commentary? Respectfully, it hasn't had a match. Well, he's had 1 or 2 matches recently because of the Garcia thing. But I
thought Angelo just came back and they were doing a couple things, but then apparently not.
Oh,
I
like this though. The Infantry and Shane Taylor all right. Well,
Infantry
because
tonight, I might say Collision might have been better than Dynamite.
This is where they're going to build up to the goddamn match.
It's all about the boom.
Yeah, because Adam Cole coming out here. What the? Adam Cole went from battling MJF to battling Daniel Garcia.
Right.
It's proof positive at this point. The Devil storyline hurt everyone.
Oh, it was fucking,
worst storyline in AEW history.
It was the nuke of storylines. It was fucking everyone's gone. Oh, look. An 8-man tag.
Oh.
Did they just add that too?
No, well, that would have been the one that they added instead of that. Everyone was saying Garcia versus Cole, so they just got the rest of the participants in the match wrong.
Did they? Yeah, so now they're
doing Undisputed Kingdom and Garcia versus essentially the Shane Taylor promotions of Shane Taylor, Lee Moriarty, and the Infantry.
Show match. So
no,
now
that's the pre-show match that everyone thought. So we're gonna have 3 pre-show matches.
Yes, 3. Okay.
We're gonna have the Boom
match. How about a 6-woman match so we can see 6 of them? Sorry.
No, we're going a run over right now.
No,
why the fuck are we going a run over with the match that's gonna be one of the matches of the year on this goddamn show?
I don't think it's a run over. I think it's the start of the countdown show.
Oh, fair enough. I was getting very mad, very fast.
I'm teeing you up. Ladies and gentlemen, Collision has come to an end. Get in the chat. Let us know. Nick, I'm a little disappointed Tony's slipping 3 matches in on the night before. If you haven't booked the match a few days out, don't do it because you're just throwing it in there. Unless you've built to that crescendo moment of like, these 2 guys have been fighting and finally, the SmackDown before Saturday, they're like, fine, we'll have the match. But if you just, the night of, sliding 3 matches in, getting the match card up to 13, 14, it's bad, man. It's Tony can't help but be Tony.
I understand it's the pre-show, and I will defend it slightly with that. But at the same time, Tony, less is more. We're not saying you got to get to 5, 6, 4, 3, all of that. 8 would have been fine. And you take 2 of those matches that you would have put on Revolution and you put them on Collision to hype up your pay-per-view the night before.
Yep.
I get that you run Collision weekly and everything like that, but this is literally the night before one of your bigger pay-per-views and everything. Yep. So 100% use this as essentially your pre-show. You don't need Jericho versus Gravity. That seems like HA versus a flat Earth, but yeah, we don't need it. And especially we don't need everything we got to end Collision with. Well, honestly, would have been better on a Ring of Honor. That certainly doesn't need to be there the night before a pay-per-view. If you want to do that on a week or like 2 weeks from now on Collision, fine, cool, I got you. The night before a pay-per-view, you've got to big up that pay-per-view.
Yeah. It's all got to be about selling the hype for that show. Again, it's just, I said, there's opportunity there to kind of be smarter at the end of the day. And that 10, we were okay with 10. We were, you know what? Okay, yeah. 10's a lot, but there's a lot of potential bangers. Now you're making us you're making us dredge through the mud to get to the fucking pot of gold. And that hurts your overall show. But I digress. Collision has come to an end. We take a rating out of 10, folks. Get in the chat. Let us know what you liked, what you didn't like before Nick and I log off and get some beauty rest, getting ready for our big pay-per-view tomorrow.
Right. But yeah, and I will at least say, at least it's the pre-show. So, granted, you've got to watch a whole Collision before you can get to Revolution. You got to go watch a second Collision, but still.
No, I don't like it, man. I don't like it. I don't like you doing matches when the arena's half empty. Even with the UFC, like some of their pre-card stuff where there's like 12 people there, they, just like, let's wait it out. Let's get into,
wherever you put Jericho is going to be there. It's going to be 12 people in the arena, regardless of when you put it. So yeah.
Jericho versus Gravity. What the fuck are we doing? But Eric gave the show a 5 out of 10, 5 out of 10. It's on again. So I was wrong, Nick. The last minute of the show, or the last 2 minutes of the show, was a pre-tape package of Kenny versus Okada. That's the last thing they gave us.
The concussion thing. So it was the switch into the countdown.
It was the end of the show. Yeah,
that's I'm all fine with doing the countdown show, which honestly, the countdown show might have been better than anything you fucking did on Collision.
But why wouldn't your main event, your world title, like why would we not get a vignette for that as the last thing before Revolution?
Why have we spent almost 2 hours pointing out issues and everything and how we should do this? I understand that, but no, it's one of those. It's just very obvious at this point. Like, why the fuck a lot of shit of again, I feel the countdown package is gonna video is gonna be better than Collision, and especially if you're gonna do it, you bookend it with you have Cope. That's the second thing on the show, and you book it with the main event, the world title match, etc.
Yeah,
like it was just a lot of this was really fumbled going into Revolution, and again, that's a testament to Revolution. Of Revolution's so good, the talent is so good, and the matches work up that well that despite their own faults, they booked a great show.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, and I think that's that's going to be the saving grace is they might be swinging like shit, but they're gonna when they connect, they're gonna knock it out of the park. That's ironic, but I believe that could happen. 6 out of 10. Yeah, right. 6 out of 10 from Ken. Don't the matches just have the memo of who won? It's so weird. 6.5 out of 10. 6.5 out of 10. Like, if I go to see a band, I don't want them to play 3 shitty songs before they get in their set. I want them to kick the set off with energy. Like, you open the show, like, the first thing match-wise that you show the audience has to cook. If you're going to give it to me, it's got to be good. Good energy out of the gate. This idea that you're going to give me 3 who cares matches just because it's a pre-show is nuts.
Yeah, but that's the opening acts. And still, people are getting their hot dogs. People are, getting their merch store, their limited merch store, during the pre-show. I will agree that you don't need the matches. I'm at least happy that they're on the pre-show versus the main show. Like, we knew he was going to add matches. It's Tony Khan. He can't help himself. He's got an itch. He got a scratch. So he's learning. At least we've gone from 15 to 12. He's in rehab of booking. So at least it's on the pre-show instead of the main show.
Yeah, I guess so. Scissors on a pole was just added. AJ, I mean, like I almost like there's a moment where you're like, no way. Like I think Nick just rolled his eyes, like I gotta check because we don't.
Right, I am.
The whole time I went on my rant about Jericho, I was waiting for me to finish the rant, and you go, psych. And I'm like, oh, like literally the whole time I was like, there's no way they really did this, but they did it.
Yeah. I have not seen the scissors on a pole. I haven't even fully seen the 8-man tag match, but I feel like it's going to be there.
Right. 4 out of 10. Better than Dynamite. Better than Dynamite on forehand. It said
4 out of 10.
7, 6, 6. That's where I'm at. I'll give it a 6. I will say I'll give them 2 points for every match I thought was really good. And I think they failed to really promote your pay-per-view. I think they get a hit and a half for not really selling us on Revolution as well as they could have.
I'll give them a 7, and that point is just because of us. Because this was fun and all of that, and we did better than they did. But yeah, honestly, how bad was Dynamite that you have people saying that this was better than Dynamite?
Dynamite wasn't strong this week. Dynamite really puttered, and
MJF was going to set Hangman on fire. I thought that was actually a solid segment. That's one of the better things I think that's been on this build.
I liked that. I thought Swerve and Ricochet was pretty good. I thought Ricochet was doing a really good job of being like playing to this idea that I'm just going to be annoying. I'm going to be irritating, and whether you like the way I do promos or not, I'm still going to do it. Right. Again, my only beef there was the two men should not be swinging scissors at each other, especially when you have a main event and there's no evidence that you actually did stab him in the forehead. That's silly. That's bad booking. That's childish. But Dynamite struggled. It did not really get out of the gates this week. It felt like they mailed it in kind of like tonight for Revolution.
Fair enough.
Right. 3 matches for 0 hour. 10 on main card. It's crazy. That's not necessary.
But again, I still hold with that it's on the pre-show. We've seen WWE do 2-hour pre-shows, and
Right.
it's Sam Roberts and this person and that person. It's Rosenberg and all of that are out there just talking the whole time. Versus these are at least matches.
Yeah, but they're horrible matches. I think I'd rather listen to the people talk.
Fair. I mean, and this is the same company that people are wondering, what are you going to do to counter the Cena heel turn? They can't book a pre-show, so what are we talking about?
Hologram, clearly. Hologram's gonna,
gonna hit a Mexican destroyer on Tony Khan.
Yeah, like the heel turn, the big fucking turning on our buddy Commander. Like, what are we gonna do? Really, what do you have that? Again, it's bringing a gun, and when the other guy's shooting with a bazooka, it's not.
And even a Jay White heel turn, even the Christian thing doesn't feel anywhere on par with that at all. Like, it's kudos to them to stay in your lane and realizing you have a super soaker at a tank fight. So, yeah.
Wow, you really stretched that. I like that. But no, I mean, ultimately, I think even if Jay White is the guy this week, tomorrow, it's not the same. It's not the same thing. None of it is the same. It's not even the same as Naomi and fucking Belair. Never mind Cena.
You ungrateful.
Right? Like, it's not even on that level. Never mind Cena. Good luck trying to be better than Naomi, Belair, and Jade. Good luck.
I almost wonder if that's up there with Cena and Dwayne. How fitting is it that we go from Bash in the Beach 98 to, I did it for The Rock. I did it for you, Bianca.
People that superimpose Naomi on Rikishi, hilarious.
Did you see O'Shea Jackson Jr., a little cube? Crushed ice instead of Ice Cube was going to sit there and say, I'm sending this to Jay. I know she's married to Jimmy, but I don't have Jimmy's number, so I'm sending this to Jay.
Right. But ladies and gentlemen, that is Collision. Good matches. There was a couple really good matches in there. I think potentially there was not a single match on Dynamite that was as good as a couple of these matches here tonight. So that's a very interesting take.
What did Jay White do on Dynamite that makes everyone think he's turning?
He cut a promo. That really
he talked.
Yeah. So he came out and basically gave us an Adam Copeland raw speech. And earlier in the night, there was something else that happened. But it was like he was too nice. He was just really like, I'm going to have your back and I'm going to be there. And it feels like we're turning you around so you don't see the knife coming.
Yeah, but at least with CM Punk, if I'll stab you in the face, or I'll stab you in the front. But Jay White in the Death Riders, he's the most charismatic person in the Death Riders. He already outdoes Moxley, the leader of it.
Well, and I mean, again, the interesting thing about all of this is, like, each person involved have all been associated with other people. Like, the Ass Boys came back. Where are they? What happened to them? They got dusted by the Hurt Business, and what? You made a big deal about them coming back. Where are they? Like,
why weren't they here?
But Cope was with FTR. Now Danny's with FTR. Cope's being helped by Jay White because I guess he got fed up with FTR too. Moxley, Pac has been gone. They took everyone away from. Oh, that was the other part of the whole Jay White tease is Moxley cut a promo about I'm all alone now because Yuta walks out after
because Useless walks out.
Yuta walks out. How dare you? Like, how dare you? Moxley should have hit him in the back of the head, and that's over. He's done.
Where are you, the angel from my nightmare?
So the combination of Moxley emphasizing I'm all alone and Jay White cutting an overly I love Adam Copeland promo, it's feeling a little foreshadowy.
I'm all alone. There's no one here beside me.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, before we break out into karaoke night, matches as a whole, I thought it was 13 matches, but 12. Again, I think Tony is just making Tony mistakes. And this, I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck. I'm going on the record. Jericho versus Gravity added to Revolution is one of the most horrific booking decisions I've seen ever. Period.
I think there will be enough that happens on Revolution, enough great things that we won't remember Gravity Falls.
I hope so. But Jericho, you should be proud of yourself. You politicked yourself into another pay-per-view, even if it's only the pre-show, because you really care about putting young Gravity over. This is going to be Gravity's moment. So, world championship, here he comes.
He just hates physics. He hates action. He hates gravity. He hates any bit of momentum. He's Mr. Freeze. He just cools any bit of momentum down.
That vortex just drains
exactly
momentum. But, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, we are back tomorrow, 6 p.m. We go live. We know when we start. We don't know when we're going to finish. And we're going to be here live for several pre-show matches now. So it's going to be exciting. And if you like your Jericho rants, you're going to get a whole lot of Jericho rants tomorrow. It's going to be a tale of an interesting show tomorrow. Lots of action, potential 4 or 5 potential match of the year candidates. It's going to cook in spots, and it might be chilly willy in spots, but we will be here live for all of it, folks. Make sure you click all the buttons, like, share, subscribe. Be a part of the shows. Be a part of the family. And if you can share our link where you talk about wrestling, we would greatly appreciate it. Other than that, Nick, it's always fun hanging out. The wrestling might suck. We never do.
Absolutely. I think Revolution might be ending up one of the pay-per-views of 2025 when we're all said and done.
Interesting.
I'm more excited for it than most of the AEW pay-per-views in 2024.
True.
So I am beyond excited for tomorrow night, but our shit is real. Our shit is raw. Our shit is authentic. When you're talking about a rest, you put that forward life with it.
Come back tomorrow, folks. We'll see you on the flip side. We got a revolution. Good night.